I don't have any files. What the fuck? I don't have the achievement for beating the game on easy. I also don't have the achievement for beating the game on hard. Well, I haven't played in a while, and I'm probably going to do some silly shit, so let's do easy this time. I've made a decision, yes. It only took me like 3 hours, and I'm playing a game that I've already played before a million billion times on livestream. And off livestream. It's us. We're here. We save the game immediately. I like this game, and after Ultra Kill Malarkey, and after something else that I was doing, I forget what. I'm in the mood to try and relearn some speedrun stuff for this game. Probably not for the whole game, but I could definitely beat the game tonight. What was I gonna say? But I can maybe beat the Hell/Sanctuary area in a relatively quick time frame. A really long time ago, I used to play this game to open up a whole lot of live streams that I just didn't know what to do with. If I didn't know what I was live streaming, I would just do a playthrough of this game. Lickety split like. And then if I didn't know what to do afterwards, that was okay, because I did a little bit of a live stream. The only door in the game that's like this, by the way. Lol, just kidding. Ah, man. What I should do one of these days is I should live stream, like, the original version. You can play this game with the original soundtrack and the original graphics, but there's a particular flair that the old one has, and like the translated dialogue and stuff like that. We got out of the reservoir. Yo, what up? I think she's very fond of us. We grab that. Silver locket. I don't even remember what the silver locket... No, wait, I do actually remember what the silver locket's for. I've gotten to the point in this game where like I've forgotten why you do a lot of the things that you do. I just do them anyway because it's like in my muscle memory. I'm pretty sure I don't actually have to talk to this guy, but fuck, we bonked. Come on. I'm pretty sure this is the only room that this song plays into. I don't know what the difference between easy mode and normal mode is. I'm just gonna assume that I effectively have more HP by taking like less damage or something like that. The Cave of Stories. How's it going? Fuck, I'm bad. I'm gonna do it one more time. I don't actually need this item whatsoever, but I like to grab everything whenever I play this game, so I'm gonna give it a go. But platforming. It's the map system. I forget what the... Is it tab? Is it Q? E, W? W, baby. We got a map. I don't have my weapon upgrade yet. So, I mean, I'm not gonna lose, but it's gonna take a little bit longer. It's the Toaster Man. There he is. I don't know if he's supposed to be a toaster or a lunchbox or something in between, but he's funny. See you, nerd. You want to fight me with that little pea shooter? We're gonna say yes. You don't actually have to fight him. And then I think he jumps the next time? Yeah. We're literally dealing 1 damage a shot here. You don't actually have to fight him. If you just say no, he's like, okay, bye. We got a little bit of XP. Now we're dealing double the damage that we were dealing before, which is pretty sick. But now the village is short 1 girl, and if I remember correctly, I need to jump all the way up here and talk to this guy, who I believe is Jack. And he leaves his post. And then we can go past him to this cemetery. So, first fun fact about this game, you might notice a very tiny thing moving left and right here. It's literally only made up of like 6 pixels or something like that. But he's to the right of the gravestones that are right in front of me. But it's a guy. You can talk to him. He says, "Can I help you?" And that'll become later, or that'll become relevant way later, like at the very end of the game. And there's also this up here, which will also become relevant way later in the game. But right now we can't do anything about it. We have to take a look at the grave of Arthur. And we get his key. We get a house key. For some reason, they buried him with his house key. I don't think there's actually anything to do here. Nothing to do here for now. We got his house key. So now, all we gotta do is go into the biggest house. You can't look at doors while you're running. You have to like stop. You do like a little bit of a slide whenever you investigate. So if you got Cracker Jack timing, you can like slide across the floor and read a computer at the same time. Okay. So, because we did it with that computer, now we can go to the egg corridor, which is a strange and new place we've never been to before. Could die here. I'm fine. More HP is more good. This little dude down here, I don't know if he insta-kills you on the easy difficulty, but he insta-kills you on the normal difficulty. What do you say? The little white thing moving back and forth down below. Touch is as deadly as it gets. These little elephant dudes, you kind of like... They're one of the only enemies in the game where you just kind of like bounce on them. I played a hack way back in the day when I was a wee lad. And the hack creator made like a series of minecarts that were literally basically just the elephant characters, which made riding on them a pain because it makes you like bounce a little bit, which is really obnoxious. The egg. So now we've got our maxed out weapon, which deals a pretty hefty amount of damage. And now we get to see another rabbit person, and a really large rabbit person with a nice tie. I love this. She gets up and is like, "Wait, who are you?" And then gets hit again. And then And they're gone. That's it. Oh, I'm Goober. There's this little like halfway house here, Cthulhu's abode. This guy's name for some reason is Cthulhu. Where's your blonde pal? You lost your memory. Plant the seeds for future plot revelations. Do some light platforming, get another life capsule. I'll do another save. Now, if I remember correctly, so up ahead we're going to find a gate, and it requires two things, if I remember correctly. It requires a key card, and it requires that key card to be used on a specific terminal. And the game wants you to run around a little bit and look for both of those things. But again, if I remember correctly, we can actually jump into Egg 6 here and find the ID card. That's one of the only like scene transitions in the game that happens that way. You almost always go through like a doorway or something like that, and that brings you to an area. But that one you just jump into it and it does it. Now, something I always forget to do, because after playing this game for so much I get pretty cocky. In this room is a pretty special chest. I can't really get any closer to the observation room because of the shield. Should be a terminal that can remove the shield somewhere. And this is where you're supposed to find out where to get the key. Yeah. So these terminals say Dragon Egg number 6. It is abnormal, and then egg number 1. Something nice that this game does is there's a couple puzzles that are like a little obnoxious. You get to the end of a corridor or something like that, like in this place. You get to the end of a corridor, and then the game says, please go back and do some stuff before you get here. And it's a little obnoxious, but at the very least, it has the courtesy to let you interact with pieces of the environment in order to go through all those checks pretty early. Red flower petals. This will also be important later. So we know for a fact, I mean, I already know, but we know for a fact that we need to get to egg 1. We collect Doritos and become stronger. Something a little obnoxious is the Doritos don't transfer over to other weapons if you're full on Doritos for a particular weapon. So whenever you kill an enemy, you have to manually switch to the new weapon and collect the Doritos that way. So for some reason, the keycard was in the 6th egg, and for some reason, again, the computer is in this egg. So that's something. Missiles. Let's see if I can. No, he dropped missiles. What an asshole. He dropped big missiles. What an asshole. It's fine. Not gonna waste any more time. We bypassed the shield. And now we got the big rabbit. Professor's very important test eggs. Very important. I'm getting punched. The bosses at the very start of the game are extremely simple. They usually just like walk at you. Igor had a fun little projectile attack, but it was really easy to dodge. And now he's turned into a normal rabbit, and we can't investigate him at all. We're very puzzled. It won't open. I guess I want us to see this cutscene first. Whoa there. I haven't lost yet. I'm going to take it serious now. Did you save me? Yes. This is none of your business. I can take care of myself. I hate this island and every living thing on it. This must be egg number 0. We can get off the island with this egg. Egg condition is normal. A password? Looks like I need a password to hatch this egg. Meh. My big brother were here. He'd fix everything. There's nothing to do here, so I guess I'm out. You from this island? You don't seem like you are. The letters on your cap aren't from here. Maybe you're lost. Fine, I'll let you come with me. We can get off this island together if you like. In return, you're gonna have to help me. Yeah, hatching preparations complete. Enter password. All the way over here. A cold breeze blows through. Breeze. Which will be important later. Oh yeah, and I believe now we can save. Yeah, the door's open. Gives you full HP and missiles. I almost said mana. And save. And now we gotta run all the way back. I quite like this song. It gets reused in the credits. The game is a bit floaty, but it also gives you a pretty nice amount of control over your like air momentum, especially later. Oh boy, especially later. We're almost maxed out on both of those. You don't get any extra bonus from being maxed out, but you might have noticed that whenever we take damage, we also lose a little bit of like weapon XP. So it pays to try to fill it up as much as you can. We're gonna get weapons later in the game that will have like more dicey XP requirements, either requiring an absurd amount of XP to level up, not being able to level up at all, getting worse when you level them up, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Starting I am chat. Now he's finally connected. So you're able to escape too. Where are you now? I found the dragon eggs. Is Mom with you? Door is jammed and I can't get out of here. Still in a shelter-looking sort of room. The code that you need to teleport is bushlands. Try searching from your end. And no, Mom isn't with me. I'm afraid she still might be with the doctor. Are any of the flying dragon eggs about ready to hatch yet? Found one that's almost ready. But it's locked up with the password. Can we do something about that? I'm on my way to go help you. Just stay right there. Do me a favor, bring some food back on your way. Sue is disconnected. Ah. Is that boy ready yet? Now what? We're holding you responsible for this. Preparing connection with bushlands. Welcome back. Sue has returned. We locked her up inside of a cage at the top of the village. When the doctor's gang comes, we'll give him Sue in exchange for Toriko. Feel bad for Sue, but she's one of us. We don't need somebody like Sue who only thinks of herself and nobody else. Here she is. Let me out of here. One way or another, I'm handing you over to them. I've been caught. Doctor's men mistook another Mimiga for me and kidnapped her instead. That girl. She treated me so well when I had trouble getting used to everything. I've got an idea. You can go my place. My brother Kazuma is stuck in an area called Bushlands. Bring him back here. We have to rescue Kiryu. And now that we've talked to her, Bushland's connection is complete. Bazinga. This is a song that people remember quite fondly. My name is Santa. I went to get some water and was attacked by those monsters, so I ran back home. But I dropped my key on the way back, and now I can't get into my own house. Come on, bud. There we go. Not used to how slippery it is. You're a soldier from the surface. Hasn't the war ended already? No matter. you want to venture any further, be mindful of those big blue critters. They'll try to crush you. So it's just as he says. The larger blue ones, the smaller green ones just kind of fly. The blue ones specifically try to drop down on you. And we get Santa's key. How grand. Some platforming, please. This should just work. And it's not, and it's making me sad. Am I pulling back too much? Let me see. No. I just need to cracker jack timing it. That's probably the intended way to get it, isn't it? I mean, I definitely could get it the gamer way, but apparently I'm not gamer enough. Playing this is definitely making me feel like old man gamer. Because I definitely used to be a whole lot better at this, but that's okay. That's why we're playing on easy baby mode. Not only because I want the Chivo, but because I straight up am bad now. So this is where the game plays a bit of a prank on you, and you'll notice that those Doritos like fell through the floor. Those particular spikes just instant kill you. I've made a bit of a mistake. I need to actually give the key back to Santa. So this is, I love Cave Story, one of my most favorite games of all time. This is one of those weird, kind of funny things. It's the key to my house. So we give him his key. Please come over. I have something nice for you. We say Haldo to the Santa. I'd like to give you something. The fireball. Are you looking for someone? I haven't seen anyone around here. But if you plan on going further in, you'll need to go through the fireplace inside of Choco's house. I believe, yeah, we can sleep in this bed, which is kind of funny. This trap is instant death. Use extreme caution. Even though there's this refill, which gives us life and missiles, even though the bed just gives us life. I don't know. But so now that Santa gave us the fireball, which is kind of a fun weapon, it bounces on the floor. I missiled the fuck out of that guy. I'll be frank, the fireball is probably one of my least favorite weapons in the game. It is pretty handy for this area though, because of its bouncy, rolly nature. And if I had to hazard a guess, it was probably made specifically to be used here. We've already got it maxed out. It doesn't take too much to level up this one. Maybe the thing that I thought was going to happen hasn't happened yet. Maybe I'm crazy. It's still weird the way it works whenever we get to it, but we'll see. Your quote is yellow? Yes. So I am playing on the easy baby mode because I haven't played this game in an extremely long time, and also because I don't have the achievement yet. Save the game here. This is one of those funny tricks that the game plays on you. You see a hole on the other side of the billowing flames. You can't get past the fire. You want to go through my fireplace? For that, you're going to need to get a bit of jellyfish juice. Big Jelly has it. And so now that we've like triggered that cutscene, first of all, weird Easter egg thing. If you sleep in the bed, now that she's moved over there, you get your health back. She starts sleeping in the bed, and also we gain the lipstick. It has no use. It does nothing. It's just like funny, I guess. I'll do another save. I don't know why. I'm gonna do it. But now that we triggered that cutscene, now there's fucking jellyfish everywhere. And now, for another thing that admittedly hasn't aged well, is copious amounts of backtracking. And it's pretty bad in this area, but don't worry, it gets worse. I don't know why I'm trying to max these out. I really don't need to. I accidentally blasted the fuck out of those guys. So this is the big jelly. We're just gonna tank. Okay, so now we got the jellyfish juice, and we're gonna need like 3 more of these. I really should just be using this. First things first. I probably could do this on the return trip, but I'm gonna do it now. Whoop, too far. It's in here. They want to use the jellyfish juice. So the gimmick of this area, or the gimmick of the jellyfish juice, is that you can put out like fireplaces with it. And almost every fireplace in this area has something to do with it. So this is the bubbline, or I think the bubbler as it was called in the like translated release. It does basically nothing right now, but it becomes an interesting weapon later on that it still doesn't do a whole lot. It's neat. I like what it does. It just doesn't do it extremely well. So now that we've put some points into it, the bubbline actually has auto fire, and it's got a little bit of distance on it too. It's got ammo, but it charges quite quickly over time. And now that it's level 3, if you hold the fire button, it makes like a cloud of bubbles, and whenever you let go of the fire button, it shoots all of it at once. It's pretty neat, but it's like relatively low damage, means that like it's not that useful. And also it's a little gimmicky with the XP. I think if you just take any damage, it just dies immediately. Clearly, I think the idea is that, like, against weaker enemies and projectiles and stuff like that, you can use it to, like, cover jumps and stuff like that. But in my experience, it doesn't end up doing that an awful lot. But it's neat. I like it. If I probably cared a whole lot about this playthrough, I probably just wouldn't bother picking it up, so that, like, swapping weapons is a bit easier. But now, we get another jellyfish juice. So this makes 2 jellyfish juice. Those of you who are keeping score at home. And now we need to go to Santa's. We use the jellyfish juice here, we get charcoal. We're gonna save. Been a little bit, why not? I need to use the fireball. It didn't do anything. I'm in. My mashing isn't as good as it used to be. Oh, he fucking juked me. Goddamn. And I leveled down. Damn. I'm losing all my gamer credentials. Someone's gonna take away my gamer license. There we go. Took me long enough. Alright. So that's the 3rd time we've collected jellyfish juice. now we get to pour the jellyfish juice here and pop out the other side. This is a little dangerous. I probably should have saved, but here we are. That platform, as far as I'm concerned, is bait. This little hole here to remind you. Yeah, it pops through those. Niche case where the bubbler is useful. As far as I know, the weapon has like infinite range, so we can actually hit that enemy from a pretty safe distance. Power supply room. It's locked. We got frogs. We got tombstone people. Yup. Save point. Give me that ammo. We do a save. I'm bouncing off of stuff. Missiles. Okay. Whenever we walk past this, or not, I think maybe whenever we talk to the door, it won't open. Help! There's somebody in the crevice. I need to get out of here. Would you please help me? Sure. Please take this. A rusty key. It's left in this room. Go ahead and use it if you can. There's no keyhole. It seems to be rusted. Huh. What do you mean? Not the right key for that door? Well, that's upsetting. There's no keyhole. We need to break it down. There's got to be a better way. If I remember correctly, I have to go investigate the power supply door again or something like that. Yeah. It's a robot. Fan power is offline and Malco is offline. Turn on the power. Intruder sighted. Terminate immediately. And this guy shows up instead. Did you know that the Amiga I found wasn't Sue? Yep, she wasn't Sue. Because of that, the doctor was extremely upset. Misery received quite the beatdown. Pity, since she's just a girl. Master can't be disobeyed, so that's our fate. This time I'm here to break you for real. Better prepare yourself. He's got a projectile attack, and he also shoots like bubbles or some shit. I believe the fireball actually does like higher DPS here. The missiles, of course, being like just the highest damage item in the game. And it gets better later too, which is pretty sweet. The head's been crushed in. Its body is jammed into the floor. You want to pull its body out? Sure. He looks kind of fucked up now. You're a good person, and on top of that, so strong. Thank you for saving me. I would like to do something for you to express my gratitude, but with that said, I'm only capable of making bombs. You want to open the rusty door? Huh? Somebody's trapped inside. You definitely are a good person. I understand. Let's make a bomb then. We'll demolish that door. Please locate the following materials for the bomb: charcoal, jellyfish juice, and gum base. Let's make the bomb once all the materials have been amassed. So you'll notice that we need jellyfish juice. We've turned on the fans, so if you notice the fans in the area by Choco's house, you'll know that now we are able to get here without using jellyfish juice, which means this will be the 4th time, I believe, collecting jellyfish juice, which is pretty obnoxious, but we'll get there. What? Here's a bomb on that door? I guess that's a possibility. Oh, you're looking for the materials. Did you say gum base? Wait a second. Take this. Obtain the gum key. This is one of those checks. It's like kind of arbitrary. The game just sort of expects you as a first-time player to maybe like go back and talk to him and be like, "Hey, we're making a bomb" or something like that. I almost always forget to grab the gum key. The gum area is to our right. I guess this way with the camera. The gum area is to our right, and I always just rush over there. It's like, I gotta get the gum. I gotta go get it. Sure must be related somehow. I'm counting on you, boy. Take it right up here. The Bushlands Hut. You sense something. Obtain the treasure chest. It's an enraged rabbit. Those enemies become common later, but it's kind of a spooky occurrence here. And this is the execution chamber. Some slight puzzling. I forget how much damage they do if they land on you, but it's a lot, and you don't want it to happen. Christ. So, let me tell you something. If you hold down the jump button while being propelled by a fan, you'll go even higher. Nice, fun little save point here. Just in case you fuck up the platforming like I could potentially do. Use the gum key. And the gum base. It's this lady. You again. Do you remember me? That's right. I didn't notice at the time, but now I remember. Aren't you that soldier from the surface? I don't know how you were able to stay alive. So, I don't know if it's because of, like, game limitations or something like that. But Balrog, the toaster, appears, like, green in this cutscene, and only this cutscene. And the reason probably is because of what's about to happen. He might even be stronger than you. Is that so? Well, it's a good thing that this soldier is your job, then. Break him for sure this time, and then come back. And he turns into a frog. Weird occurrence, but, you know. A little bit of damage. Not too bad. Defeated Balrog. I believe in the like original translation of the game it says defeated Balrog, but that might have just been like a funny on the part of the translators. Like I said, I need to play the original version again. I even technically modded the original version of the game once. It was the tiniest thing. Not very important at all. All I did was I did some like a light sprite changing. I just like changed some of the enemies to different colors. And I created like speedrun practice rooms for the hell area. I figured out how to spawn doors and like make them connected. And so what I did was at the very beginning of the hell area, which we'll see later today, but for those of you who don't know Cave Story, is a like speedrun, it's like a speedrun / like hard challenge. And I was kind of tired of like having to, what was like still pretty hard for me at the time, go through this whole gauntlet in order to get to a bonus boss fight that I didn't know how to fight. And so I modded the game to not only give me like practice rooms for certain legs of the for certain like legs of the challenge. You know, I could give me a door that sends me straight to room 2, room 3, and stuff like that, which was pretty fun and made figuring out that part of the game so much easier. and when I was finally ready, I actually like deleted the doors and I did the whole thing straight through. And I was so happy of myself. I was so happy for myself whenever I finally got it all done in one run. It wasn't a very good time. I think it was enough to... I think it might have been enough to get Curly on the main menu. But the important part is that I technically modded a game, which is something I forget about a lot. Again, it wasn't that much. It wasn't a big deal, but I felt quite happy with myself at the time. What was I gonna say? And then I beat the game using a shortcut door. I beat the hell with the shortcut door because there's like extra rewards you get for I need to go get a bomb. There's like extra rewards you get for beating it like super duper fast. And I didn't want to practice the speed run, so like I did a clean run once with no doors, and I was like, I'll just cheat for the rest of the rewards. That's fine. Charcoal, jellyfish juice, and the gum base too. I'll commence making the bomb immediately. The gum base must be the explosive part, because if the jellyfish juice was the explosive part, none of those fireplaces would have gone out. Unless it's like a C4 kind of situation. The bomb has been set. I love the little like pickup song playing there. It's really fun. You did well, boy. Just one look and I knew you could do it. My name is Kazuma Sakamoto. Please call me Kazuma. I was able to escape from the doctor, but then I was teleported here. I felt like I was about to die of total starvation. You're a real lifesaver. By the way, have you heard of a place called Mamiga Village? Sue? You know Sue? I see. So you come to get me in place of Sue. I understand. Let's go. Take me to the village. And then we get this guy. Is that you, Kazuma? Professor Booster. So you're safe? Yes, somehow. And how's Sue? She's safe? Sue's in Mamiga Village. This boy will get us there. Oh. Do you know him? No. Actually, we just met. Let's hurry and get to Sue's location. The doctor started to gather them Amiga. It appears he's taken notice of the red flowers. But will the red flowers work on Sue as well? Just like the others? Kazuma, the doctor has commenced snatching them Amiga. Do you understand what this means? So the doctor and the war? That's right. And now we're the only ones who can stop him. How are we going to stop the doctor? I haven't got an idea. At any rate, let's hurry and get back to Sue. We'll discuss when we're there. I want you to come too. Hooray. He never once referenced him during Yakuza. I'm gonna be real with you, Zeb. I just straight up forgot his name was Kazuma. I remembered Sakamoto and I remembered Sue Sakamoto. I just forgot his name was Kazuma. Shrug. I'm counting on you. Lead us to Mamiga Village. Kazuma. Yeah? Does that thing work? Yeah, it looks like it still does. Oh, actually, there is one thing. Weird coincidence, okay? So there's a character named Kazuma in this game. There is also a character named Date. And fun fact, it's the doctor. And you only learn that his name is Date at the very, 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 very end of the game. For the entire game, he's referenced as just the doctor. I don't need to save again. What am I doing? The entire game, he's just referenced as the doctor. But at some point, you can uncover like a statue uncover a statue like made in his honor, and it says that his name is like Fuyohiko Date or something like that. So weird coincidence with two Yakuza characters and two Cave Story characters sharing the same name. We're just gonna plow through everything. Tool-assisted speedruns of this game look fucking insane. As you might have noticed, we can only mash so fast because the game limits how many projectiles can be on screen at once. But it doesn't limit projectiles on the screen like per weapon. So you can theoretically shoot one weapon and then the next frame, because you switch weapons like frame instantly. I don't think there's a cooldown period. And then shoot another weapon and then just like cycle through your entire repertoire of weapons in 4 frames, which again makes dealing damage on a task level extremely efficient. Human level, not so much. That bike Cosmo is riding looks like it's had better days. Oh yeah, and just for fun, I picked up another jellyfish jelly, which makes this the 5th time that we've picked up the jellyfish jelly, although I believe that this time it is just completely optional. Or weapons of death? Yes. The doctor plans to use the red flower to have all of you attack the humans. Why would he do such an awful thing? The doctor is like a devil. Will he force Torko to eat the red flower? The doctor's still searching for it. It's good if he hasn't found the location yet, but if he finds the red flower, Torko she'll be filled with rage and turn into a weapon of death. I won't let that happen. And now we're back. You alright? I really thought that we weren't going to make it. This is the remastered. Is this the remastered OST or the original? I believe it's called remastered. This game has 3 different soundtracks. There's original, new, quote unquote, and then remastered. So these graphics and like this version of Cave Story was originally released on Wii Virtual Console as like a re-release of Cave Story. And that came with the new graphics and the new soundtrack. When this came to, I believe when it came to Steam, they added a 3rd soundtrack called the Remastered because everybody hated the new soundtrack. It's going for a direction, and I don't like it either. Usually I try to see the merit behind things, but it's going for a super relaxed version of a lot of the music, and it just lacks any kind of punch or any of like the spirit that like the original soundtrack has. And the remastered soundtrack is trying to be like a lot more faithful. You know what? I can do a quick demonstration with that. We'll take like 10 minutes off of the live stream to listen to some fucking music. Most of them are taken away to the doctor. King's friends were also. It's me. I don't want to do that. The bike is a complete wreck, but somehow we made it. Doctor's scheme is moving forward as planned. We need to hurry and do something about it. Yeah, we talked to her, and we bounced the rate. Seems like I owe you yet another one. With Cosmo here, I'm sure we'll be able to handle the password for that egg. Professor Booster, can we bring him along? Professor. Sue, our escape must be put on hold for now. The doctor's found the location of the red flowers. Huh? As of yet, he doesn't have his hands on them. It's only a matter of time before he does. Their location is in the sand zone, and I've heard that the red flowers are there. If we go there, will we find the doctor? I fear it's the doctor's minions they'll presumably go. We must eradicate the red flowers before they get their hands on them. However, the sand zone is a very dangerous place. If we were to go, whether or not we make it back alive isn't... Are you giving up then? Actually, no. We've got just the right person here with us now. You. What is he? Well... He's an armed recon robot that was dispatched to this island 10 years ago. A robot? It's supposed to be kind of like a surprise, but we have like excruciatingly pale skin and like antenna. So like, I heard that they were all destroyed after the war. However, I don't know the exact details. Perhaps one of them, Professor. I've connected us to the Sand Zone teleporter. You are the most ideal among us here to search the island. Please help us. Sand Zone, huh? Okay. So we've been listening to the remastered soundtrack. I'm gonna go back to the main menu and switch. We're gonna switch this to the new soundtrack or the original soundtrack. We'll also switch the original graphics for fun. Oh, it's got the spiky border now. Yes, I love the spiky border. There's this song. We'll do 3 songs comparison. I love the way the HUD looks in classic mode. This is also a good song. And then we'll teleport to Grasslands since everybody loves that one. I think all the music is extremely fun in the original and the remastered song. The remastered is like doing its best to kind of like copy the style of the original. It's jamming. All right. On the other hand, oh, we get to see this? All right, that's fun. I like that. Hell yeah. Not that one. Now this is the new soundtrack that came with the Wii Virtual Console release. It's just doing something completely fucking different. Like already. It's the main menu song and it's already doing something completely fucking different. I don't necessarily think it's bad, but like I said, it's trying something different. It feels like there's notes missing, right? But it's like already it feels weird, and it's just the main menu song. I don't... Like, some of it is just completely fucking different. Again, for the record, I don't hate it, but it just doesn't feel particularly faithful to the, you know, original game. I don't just I don't know what the descending scale in the background is. I don't know. There's this one. Oh, Meltdown is good. To sate my curiosity, actually, we're going to listen to a bonus track on this one. Sounds like it's made for the Game Boy. Yeah, it's got this like, I don't know how to describe it. Okay. Yeah, like I said, it removes a lot of the punch from the songs. This song in the original soundtrack and the remastered soundtrack have like really punchy like high notes, and it's giving, and this new soundtrack is giving it like a weird relaxed vibe. It's not for me. And then we'll do Grasslands, and then we'll get the graphics back and we'll get the music back, and then we'll continue on our journey. Show me Grasslands or Bushlands. It's just butchered. It's not nearly as fucking good. But yeah, like this one definitely gives me that like, oh, we need to make like 12 sounds with like 2 bytes of data on the Game Boy. Like sure, there's all these like extra background elements and stuff that aren't that, but like the main instruments that are making the noise, it's... Thank you for playing Cave Story for the Nintendo Entertainment System. There's like this weird bouncy instrument in the background that... I don't know what that's doing there. I don't know. Like, ah, man, this is when it's supposed to pick up and be like really adventurous, and it's just like, it's not there, man. I don't like it. Boomer yells at clouds. We're getting the graphics and we're getting the music back. God, my eyeballs. It's weird switching between these things. We're going back to the sand zone. It's the girl. She's gone. Welcome back, music. There's more bugs. I believe they just move across whenever we, you kind of schmoove on them a little bit. You don't have to worry too much about them. Welcome to the Sand Zone residence. Hey! Look, a visitor after such a long time. I know what you want to do, but you better wake up. The Mamiga aren't the enemy. They're totally harmless. I feel sorry for you. Gun. Angry eyebrows. I love the angry eyebrows. I'm on the Mamiga side, and I'm not going to lose to you. So, weird, like, factoid about this character is this is the only character in the game with, like, that I remember having, like, a boss immunity. If you switch to the missile launcher, she gains a bubble shield, and she's just straight up immune to damage from that. Also, she's one of the only enemies in the game that doesn't have like a hitbox. A hitbox that damages you on her. You can intersect with her sprite and it doesn't deal any damage, which is just a little unusual for this game. You got me. We've been defeated. Do you plan on disposing of the Mamiga? No. Oh. Are you on the Mamiga side too? I know it's not their fault. I'm Curly Brace, and I've been with these little ones since before I can remember. I don't recall anything before then. Apparently it's so-called memory loss. I may have been a Mamiga killer just like the other robots. Your Polar Star, it's thrashed pretty badly. Want to trade for my machine gun? Okay, we've got a choice, alright? So, the short version is, our starting weapon can be traded out for 3 different weapons. You can either trade it out for the machine gun right now, which is a fairly good weapon and has some like funny uses. At max level, it pushes you back whenever you shoot it, so you can use it to kind of like fly and stuff like that, which isn't super relevant later, but it's a thing. It's a feature. Or you can take the Polar Star and you can take the Fireball and you can combine them both like in the mid game in order to create the snake. Or if you go through the whole, like most of the game, like 75% of it, without trading out your Polar Star, you can have the Hermit Gunsmith, who we stole this gun from at the start of the game, actually fix it and bring it to its full potential, and it becomes the Spur. That's what it's called, the Spur. And it's a weapon that doesn't require XP and shoots fucking lasers. And so, like I said, we have a choice. What weapon do we want for this playthrough? I'll be completely at the whims of everybody else. If it were up to me, I would just default to Spur. It's probably my favorite weapon among the 3. It doesn't require XP, which is pretty handy for the very last area of the game. It's extremely powerful, and at this point I'm just used to running through the game with just the Polar Star, basically. But if people want to see the machine gun, or if people want to see the snake, then I will grab either of those weapons. Machine gun, cuz fly. Hell yeah, alright. We'll go for it. We'll take it. gun. It's been a hot minute since I've used this thing. It's got recharging ammo, kind of like the bubbler. This is all the humans' fault. The Amiga are just being used. Yeah. I'll need some tasty fish now. They'll bite suddenly if you dare walk directly on the sand. They'll take a big chunk out of you. You looking for red flowers? The old lady named Jenka might know something about them. You go to her house, you should take the dog next to the bed. I forgot about this. There's a dog here. Arf. Wanna bring him along? Sure. Picked up the dog. And now we have a dog. Save. Or I should probably do that and then save. So another weird fucking Easter egg that this game has. If you use the map on this room, you will notice that there is a corridor that isn't like shown by the graphics, and you have to navigate through this small space. I believe here, yeah, here if you investigate, you get Curly's panties. From found behind a wall, green panties with the cute little red insignia. They have no use. It's nothing. You just get to steal underwear from a robot girl. I should definitely save after that. Oh baby, here I go. And I believe for now, that's gonna be the last, like, bonus item we get. She's human in her heart, alright? I'm not making fun of her or anything like that, it's just, you know. We'll, solve that conundrum later. Now, we kind of need some XP for this weapon. And bring it to its full sick potential. We need to be a little careful with excavating this. Get our life capsule. Ah, come on. If you're moving at full speed left or right, the croc can't hurt you. Once you kill the croc, it won't show up in that portion of the sand. But it shows up in other ones, so. But, interesting fact, the crocodile is another enemy that you can stand on. And as long as you never shoot it, I believe as long as you never shoot it, it never goes back in the sand. So you can just bait out its attack once, and then just chill with your boy. And you can tell when the croc is about to attack again whenever the damage number disappears. It just coincides directly with that, which is, I don't know, a weird programming thing, maybe? A lot of these fun facts, I just know off the top of my head because I played this game too fucking much. Because we obtained the panties, wow, this is a lot bigger than I remember it being. Interesting. We can see that little paw over there. And, hold on. Let's go this way. And the panties don't do anything related to this, but it does kind of train your brain a little bit to look for corridors that you can just walk through for reasons. Ah, come on. I would have had... There we go. So now, we've got this powerful machine gun. And, yeah, we can just fly with it. It's pretty sick. It doesn't actually mess with your movement at all while you're on the floor. But when you're in the air and you point it upwards, your jump becomes shorter. Whenever you point it downwards, your jump becomes bigger. Which is pretty handy. There's a croc on that one because of the skull. I forget what this boss's name is, but it's really weird. That Balrog's blundered yet another time. My phone just now alerted me to your stream starting. The phone is trying its best. Doesn't seem like it'll be necessary. Bye now. We can destroy these red ones, but the I'm leaving. Goodbye. It's got like an HP timer. It'll stay there for a little bit longer, but if you deal a certain threshold of damage, it'll just immediately jump. Omega. And now that we've beat Omega, the curse on the Sunstones is lifted. And now we can just leave. We still have a dog. They're still here. They're just hanging out. Those are actual spikes, and they won't insta-kill you, but they'll hurt, so you don't want to touch them. Then these open up. Might notice that paw print over there. We'll get to that. If I remember correctly, this is one of the only... This is one of the only spots in the game that has, like, guaranteed drops of a certain kind. There's a dog over there. And those are there because, for some reason, there's no health or ammo refill here. And so you have to get your health and ammo refill manually from those blocks over there, which is just another weird thing that this game does. That's my doggy. Give her the dog. You've returned him to me. That was very nice of you. Huh? The red flower. It's him. How you doing, Auntie? What's a you, Balrog? You look good. How's my stupid daughter been lately? I think, if I remember correctly, the original translation has her says something like, how's my worthless daughter been lately? Ha! Stupid daughter. You mean Misery? He's also fine. A new master has appeared, and this time the surface will finally be ours. You two still trying to do that? I'm not here to cause you any trouble. I just came by to pick up the key to the warehouse. You know the warehouse with the flower seeds? Huh. I've got no idea what you're talking about, Balrog. Is that so? You're just pretending that you don't know. I see now. You're gonna betray us then. Is that it? You'll be sorry. Pong. The new master. Must be another idiot at it yet again. About my dogs. I've got 4 more still. My little pups. These legs of mine are so very weak. Sorry for the inconvenience, but would you mind finding the rest of my dogs for me? Arf. If I remember correctly, in this little secret compartment, there is a life capsule, and there's also a chest. And inside the chest it's a dog. Picked up the dog. So, kind of like the jellyfish juice from earlier, this is yet another backtracking segment. So we had to pick up the jellyfish juice 4 times, I believe, and we grabbed it a 5th time just to have it in our inventory for the fun. By the way, you must be a soldier from the surface. It's been a long time since all those robots, just like you, came to this island. They were responsible for the deaths of so many defenseless Mimiga, and for the lives of the brave men and women who tried defending them. Due to the effects of consuming the forbidden red flower, the cornered Mimiga became utterly rabid. They fought back viciously against the robots that had invaded their island. Who knows? Had there been no red flower, it's very possible that the Mimiga on this island might have been annihilated. 3 more left. I know you can do it. Arf, woof, woof. So this is another backtracking segment. We need to get every single dog to Jenka before we can do anything to move the plot forward. Which is a little upsetting, but honestly, at this point, it just kind of comes with the territory. So part of the reason why it is extremely awesome to grab the machine gun during this part of the game is without the machine gun, this whole section of the game becomes a bit of a hassle. You'll notice that oh Jesus fucking Christ. You'll notice that I can't jump high enough to actually get up here, and there's some pretty like gnarly jumps to be made. Hold on. Catch. Woof. You have to kind of catch him or else he just runs around the bottom. You'll notice that without the machine gun, there's no way for me to make this jump. In order to get to the next section of the level, you have to jump up here at the very least and do some light platforming. And if you fall, you got to walk all the way back, and it's extremely irritating. And in addition to that, this area of the game is actually made basically specifically to give you an unfair advantage for using the machine gun. Without the machine gun, you have to do a bunch of back and forths, and there's a little bit more, and I'll show it off in a little bit because the next dog is forward. But we'll get to that when we get to that. But yes, the machine gun makes this section of the game a whole heck of a lot easier. What does this say? I'm curious. Stands on Warehouse East. Use our upwards of momentum to power the jump, and there we go. Dog. Definitely. That one's mine. Give her the dog. Thank you so much. This one makes 3. Have you ever seen an enraged Mimiga? We have, actually. We were attacked by one in that cabin in the grasslands. Eating the red flower will make me stronger. A great many of the Mimiga believed this and chose to eat the red flower. And then, only then did they fight back against the battalions of robots. But you know what happens afterward to a Mimiga filled with such rage? It was so terrible. Perhaps they couldn't control themselves. Well, most of the Mimiga who were consumed by the red flower were never to be seen again. They were missing. I heard a rumor that they supposedly made it down to the surface where the humans live. The thought of the enraged Mimiga anywhere close to the surface with humans, if it's really true, do you realize it yet? Do you realize how dangerous the red flower actually is? 2 more pups. So we've got Arf, we got Woof Woof, and we've got Bow Wow Wow. We just skip all the way up here. Dog. Come here, dog. Deserted house. This is a little easier with the assistance of the map. As you can see, there's a bit of an overhang here, and this sand pit, which is really obnoxious. But all you gotta do is jump up here. Yeah, and then up and over, and then just hold right. You get the dog. This pushes you down. Oh, I was about to say if you hold left, you're going to be fine. But it wasn't the case. So I was a liar. I'm sorry about that. But not too bad. Even taking damage from just like one croc is not that big of a deal. We did lose our ability to fly, which is pretty unfortunate. Now we have it back. Hooray. So that is one particular weakness of the machine gun, is the level 3 machine gun doesn't have a very high XP capacity, so it has a tendency to level down at the slightest touch. You are the popular one. My dogs aren't very fond of troublemakers either. I really do appreciate all your hard work so far. Is it the warehouse key that you're after? Same warehouse that contains all the red flower seeds in it? Doesn't matter to me who you are, you understand? Can't give you the key to the warehouse. Opening the warehouse would be foolishly allowing an encore of the same tragedy from before. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Only one more to go. And all the dogs have taken up all the spaces from Jenka to the door, and surely the next dog will be put over here, right? That's probably what's going to happen, and not anything terrible or horrible. So we got Arf, we got Woof Woof, we got Bow Wow Wow, and we've got Woof 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 Woof. Which is a little unfortunate that they couldn't think of another like onomatopoeia for a dog. But that's okay. We'll grab some HP. Why not? So in this case, to sort of leverage our advantage here, I'm actually going to take the lazy way. Alright, so here, for example, falling down here means you have to do a whole bunch of backtracking. There's a hole here, but it doesn't do anything. It's just kind of there. There's a sign that says the sand zone has walls that can be passed through easily. Look for markings on the walls. And I believe that's in case you've never noticed that before. It's to sort of help you get the location of the other dogs that are behind such surfaces. Got a whole flock of birds. You know what? We'll blast them. Fun little barrier here. Birds can't go through it. If you were astute in your observations, you would have noticed that the grassland actually has another thing like that. Interesting platforming segment that you can just completely skip by having the machine gun of just jumping across here. You kind of have to conserve your momentum a little bit. And the dog is sleeping. You want to bring him? Sure. This is one of the only times in the game that this happens. You have to break these blocks in order to get your save point and your health and missile refill. And now we gotta go. Additionally, guess what this is? It's the warehouse that we're about to get a key for. So now we have to walk all the way back with the 5th dog so that we can get the key to the warehouse, which is the place that we were just at for the 5th dog. Thankfully, after this, there's not too much more backtracking. There's going to be a little bit, but it's mostly like self-induced because I like getting all the knickknacks and doodads and stuff like that. Ouch. The big irritating thing about the machine gun is you can't really aim upwards without sacrificing your jump height. I have the warehouse key. Alrighty then. See ya. Wait. And there's no more dogs. Dogs are gone. Gave her the dog. The key to the warehouse was stolen by Balrog. Please stop them. They'll unleash rabid Mimiga possessed by the red flower against the surface. Please take this with you. Obtained a life pot. Alright. Use it and your life will be fully restored, but just once. 1. The life pot is interesting. So it's a full heal. Technically, you don't just get one of these. I forget what the requirement is. If I'm remembering this correctly, if we use it now, we can talk to Jenka and she'll give us another one. Later in the game, we'll run into a dog or another character, and if you've used the life pot before then, he'll give you another life pot. But if you never use a life pot, or if there's one in your inventory, it's one of those two, then he'll give you like a big sizable health extension instead. So needless to say, we're not going to be using this for quite some time. I don't want to do that. Just barely not. Top off for XP. There's only a couple of those bouncing bony dudes. Yeah, we got some iframes from that, so we'll be abusing that. Refill all that. I don't think I actually need to refill that since I've got this, but you know. Warehouse, baby. Great doctor. All the red flower seeds have been harvested. Good. By the way, the flowers blooming there. Are they the demon flowers? Yes, sir. Well, well. Such an ominous flower, unexpected to say the least. Would you like to eat one? Huh. No, that won't be necessary. Well, why don't we sample it by using a Amiga instead? Yes, I agree. Huh? Here? Hey, where are you going? Balrog. Make her eat a red flower. Got it. Somehow King got in front of us. And he fucking insta-killed Balrog. You alright, King? You're that doctor. Indeed, I am the doctor. And your new leader. I should say it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Tell me, is there something you'd like to do with that sword of yours? I'm gonna kill you. Fucking destroyed. Without the power of the red flower, they are weak. It's me. You're that persistent soldier from the surface. You've got perfect timing. They're all yours. A small gift from me to you. There's no need for you to thank me. Handle them, will you? So she's kind of fucking intense. She'll yeet these boxes that are completely invulnerable to damage. And out of the boxes spawn these little flowery dudes. Dealing enough damage to her will make her jump early. But not too bad. Defeated Rabid Toriko. No victory music because she is dead for real, and that's really unfortunate. I can't help you anymore. Will you avenge me? And now he's dead too. We get the blade. So now all of our little tiny rabbit friends are dead. The blade is a pretty fun weapon. I will explain it in due time, but for now, we've got to get smashed by a toaster. Sorry. You're still alive. There was one back then, too. A tough little robot like you. There'll be no end to this if we try to take you head on. So, I'm sending you to the labyrinth. And you, too. Huh? That was refreshing. That's one of my favorite lines in the game. I believe in the original translation she says something like, "Heavens, that felt good," which is just like really funny to me. Like it's like hard for the game to make this like 16 pixel character like emote very well, so they just have her go like, "I feel great about that." Where is this place? So, welcome to Labyrinth 1. And yet another weird, unique thing. It sits on the platform this time instead of in the platform, and then it gets lowered. No response. You're thrown down here by the witch Misery, too. Poor little guy. The island's junk is stored here. Once you're here, you'll never be able to get out. The switch for this door is supposed to be all the way up top, but the footing is real bad. I've fallen so many times that I've broken my leg. So, here's some platforming. It's not particularly difficult, but, you know, it's platforming. But because of us having the machine gun, we can technically just like completely bypass it. But I'm gonna do my best to not do that. We'll see if I can't like first try this shit. I used the machine gun for a little bit of a boost on a normal jump, so we'll just pretend I didn't do that. Come on, bud. Life capsule. These things move whenever you get like in front of them. They move along those tracks. It's really easy to get smashed right there, and I'm kind of surprised that I didn't. Open the door. Yes. But yes, as I've pointed out before, you can make it through that crack. You can get almost all the way down, and the robots are gone. Like I said, a huge chunk of this part of the game is designed specifically in mind with the idea that if somebody gets the machine gun and kind of knows how to use it, like if they figure out what it's good for, you can just completely skip huge chunks of what would ordinarily be like, you know, fairly difficult platforming. And I kind of like the way that that's designed, because if you ever do a challenge playthrough, hello, if you ever do a challenge playthrough where you don't pick up the machine gun, then you're gonna then things are gonna be more difficult for you, but you're also gonna get more access to more interesting weapons, which I think is very cool. Labyrinth W, baby. These enemies have a death animation before they die, which is, I believe, something that we haven't seen here before. Good evening from Soda Cracker. Hey, Soda Cracker, how's it going? I didn't expect to see you here, of all places. We haven't talked in a really long time. Since we did Arena Junk. So we've got... They use the exact same sprites, but for some reason these ones aren't hostile. If you don't take the machine gun, you can get the snake here at the Labyrinth shop. Sorry for the inconvenience. Look, I'll give you this. The turbocharge. So there I was browsing my Discord chat and I see you with the purple streaming icon. Ah, I just changed that. For some reason my Discord got disconnected and I've been streaming to basically nobody for several days now, or for several weeks now. Popped in and here I am now. Well, I'm glad to see you. You don't have any money anyway, right? So I believe the turbocharge actually, yeah, speeds up the recovery rate of ammo from the machine gun. Basically, if you've already taken a weapon upgrade, he'll give you something unique. We'll get a save. What else do these guys say? Ever seen the outside of the island? It's floating high up in the sky. How the island happens to float? It's a secret. The secret to that is hidden deep inside this labyrinth. A way out of the labyrinth does exist, however the path leading to the exit is obstructed by a single boulder. Not even sure if the exit can be reached after removing the massive piece of rock. Soda Cracker, actually, speaking of, have you heard any news about the next Sea of Thieves update? The teleporter there was working before. Well, even when it was working, its destination point was somewhere else in the labyrinth. Alright. Let's mosey on. I'm gonna take full advantage of our machine gun here to skip through some of this. I've been deep in the Death Stranding since it's on Game Pass. Okay, all right, nice. I am a big Death Stranding enjoyer. I played it on release, but what is the news that I speak of? So, I know a little bit more than what I'm gonna let on about it, but it's information that I got from the Insider client, so I'm not gonna talk about that. The Sea of Thieves developers have made several official statements that the next seasonal update, which is in a couple of weeks here, is going to be primarily focused on PvP. It is going to be a PvP update, and it's going to be big. I don't want to quit. Thank you very much. I'm a physician. Allow me to take care of you. Hooray. Exchange, please accept a simple request from me. There's an old clinic nearby. Go there and see if there's any medicine left inside. A dark ghost began haunting it, so I ran away and came here. And Curly's here also. Long time no see. You look great. So you were warped down here by that witch Misery. Me too. Even you weren't able to succeed against them. I did have a tiny bit of hope. And like you, I tried my best, and this is where I ended up. I'm disappointed in myself. But when it comes down to it, I couldn't protect them. With this body in this shape, getting out of here is going to be next to impossible. New content always pleases me. I haven't sailed in some time now, but I always enjoyed the seas. Yes. I've been playing quite frequently. Actually, recently, I've been trying to put together a bit of a YouTube video. Just kind of trying to collect my thoughts about how I feel about Sea of Thieves. It's a game, all right. top 5 online experience for me. Yeah. I love Sea of Thieves, even though it's jank. It's really jank. But there's no other game like it. So there is an item up here, actually. That is extremely easy to get with the machine gun. You just kind of float up there. If you don't have the machine gun, you need to perform a kind of maneuver. If I remember correctly, it's something like, yeah, like that. You can do a damage boost and hold the jump button, and that's how you're supposed to access this place if you don't have the machine gun. And if you open the treasure chest, you get the arms barrier. And this is actually really handy. Let me see here. Weapon energy lost from sustaining damage is halved. Very handy for not leveling your weapons down. And I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back. I love the game. I don't know. There's just so much to talk about the game. So I've been doing a lot of like open crew recently, and just like recording my sessions. Also because you just have a tendency to run into the strangest people on open crew. Clinic ruins. The cure-all. And we get interrupted by this ghost who looks strangely like the toaster guy that we encountered earlier. There we go. Not too bad. Bosses are still pretty basic at this stage, but they'll be getting more interesting soon enough. Open Crew Sea of Thieves is an interesting experience, though I did meet you, so it was a win there to be sure. Oh, for sure. I would say the vast majority are, you get I don't know. I'd say there's like 3 categories. Strange folks, people doing pirate accents, or maybe like 4 different kinds. There's strange people, there's like kids, there's just like the completely silent ones, and then there's like the friendly talkative type, the people that want to just like talk to you all about just whatever. They're here to vibe. I need to give it to him. You gave the cure-all to the physician. Thank you, and sorry for the trouble. Please leave the rest to me. This is the legendary labyrinth. I don't know who built it, but it must be for some kind of trash collection. There's only one way to escape. You have to move a massive rock that's found inside of a separate chamber. I'd go with you, but in my current state, I'll be more of a burden than a help. I believe now that we gave the cure-all, we are given the okay to move forward with our quest. Move forward with the critical path. We'll just use the machine gun to cheat. We picked the machine gun for that express purpose in the first place. That jump also is made quite a bit easier. Now this big tank thing, in my opinion, is the first boss that can kind of give you a little bit of trouble. In order to make it attackable, you have to get it to change direction, I believe, 3 times, then it opens up. I am out of ammo. You can take damage from its treads, but if you just jump on top of it, you can take it for a ride. Whenever it changes direction, it like has a tendency to boot you off of it, though. So, let's see if I can show that off. Yeah, it bounces you. Use the rest of these. I think I barely just didn't do enough damage to that thing. So, as you might have noticed, we haven't dealt any real damage to it, and now we're starting to deal some good damage. If I had enough missiles, I think I could have one-cycled it, but we're going to have to play it slowly here. Actually, also, I haven't been using the blade. I'll show that off in a bit. We're going to have to waste a little bit of time here. We've got enough HP to kind of just tank some of these attacks. Soda Cracker is sending me a lot of messages, but I'm a little bit focused, and I'll get to that in just a second. There we go. One more? All right. And a level down. There we go. But yeah, this one's just got a lot of like projectile attacks. You can defeat them with your own projectiles, but it's just a lot. All right, let me. Soda Cracker says, I won't be hanging out here for long. I'll be taking my leave shortly. That's all right. I'm just glad you stopped by. I do plan on sailing again shortly. There's a lot of catching up to do on my end as far as content goes. I've actually never done a Fort of the Damned, for example. Oh, okay, all right. The crew I used to roll with would only rock Reapers and chase down everyone in the server and then move on. I gotcha. Well, if you're playing at some point within the next week, you should definitely hit me up and I'll see if we can't organize something. If you want to give Fort of the Damned a go, there is no better time to give it a shot. Some of the Flames of Fate, most notably like the white one for chasing the storm and the pink one, are kind of hard to come by. At the very least, they can take a really long time, whereas everything else is kind of a cakewalk. But anyways, in the current adventure, which is like Pendragon versus Flameheart, every one of the Ghosts Sea Forts actually has a free Flame of Fate inside of it, so there's no easier time to try to do Fort of the Damned. Yes, Sam, Flame Fart. I don't want to quit. Thank you very much. I need to level up the blade. I haven't shown off what it's good for just yet. We got Monster X out of the way. There goes Booster. Okay, so this is the point of the game where we need to make a critical decision. I'll take my leave. Do take care. Good night. Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by, Soda Cracker. I appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. So, we saw Professor Booster fall down there. However, thanks a bunch for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. So Professor Booster fell down there, and the initial reaction would be to run down here and say hello to him. Why are you here? I see Misery sent you down here too. This might be good luck arising from misfortune. The thing is, this island floats in the sky because of some kind of life force. I recently uncovered the location of that life force. Somewhere in this labyrinth lies that life force, and if it can be destroyed, then the functions of the island just might cease. Right about now, I think the doctor should surely be in a huge panic. You were sent straight into the heart of the island. Here, take this. Booster 0.8. This little machine will help you fly into the air. You can hover while airborne by pressing the jump button. Use the subscreen to equip and unequip the booster. Whew. I thought I was in big trouble the moment I caught air, but thanks to that I was able to see you. Looks like with this, I've used up my last bit of good fortune. Best of luck. And then he fucking dies. But that isn't what we're all about. So this, fun fact, is the only tile. This is the only tile in the game that looks like this. With this little red stripe here. The point of this red stripe is if you hug the left wall and then run and then jump. I did it a little late, but if you run and then jump at that red stripe, then you will make the jump. The unfortunate thing is if you fall into this pit, you can't get out without talking to Booster and getting the booster, unless you have the machine gun, which is another way in which this is made easier. And this jump also is meant to be impossible unless you have the machine gun or the booster. So we get to cheat here. But if you can do the jump, good. That was a little early. It's a very precise jump, but if you can do it, then you don't need the booster, and that's very important. So that's what the good jump looks like. It's harder than it looks. Yeah, even then, I think you have to be just a little over it. Yeah, like that. Just a little past the halfway mark, and you'll do the jump. Like I said, with the machine gun, we get to cheat, so it's not bad at all. But we don't talk to Booster. For some reason, talking to Booster there gets you the booster and kills him. If you kind of the same way that switching out our Polar Star works, if we take a self-imposed challenge here, it'll pay dividends later. and in this case is part of the critical path that allows us to get to the secret boss and the true ending of the game. So we won't be talking to Booster here. You made it. I've been waiting for you to get here all this time. If this rock has moved, we can continue onwards to the labyrinth exit. Rumor has it that there's a creature's lair up ahead. Be prepared for anything. Let's move this boulder to the side. Hold that end and then... let's go. It won't move at all. Maybe it's impossible to move with just the two of us. Oh yeah. And then a toaster shows up. Hey, it's you. Haha. So you are alive. And on top of that, you two are trying to escape from the labyrinth. Shouldn't you be resting instead of trying to make an escape? Remember that you can't defy the master any more than I can. Fine then. I'm ending this. Just stay here with the rest of the scrap metal. Oh, this is perfect. You can grab the middle. Ready? Are you two listening to me? So, Jesus, he grappled me. So you'll notice that he's got his own missiles now. He has a very similar moveset to when we first found him. He walks forward, he tries to grab you, then he walks forward and jumps. But this time he shoots missile. He shoots missile? He shoots missiles. And then we beat him again. Defeated again. I'll move the rock for you. But in return, keep the fact that I helped you move it a secret. Don't you worry. Here goes. Got it? Me helping you guys? It's our little secret. Right. He might actually be one of the good guys. This is another oddity about this game. Is that, like, for me personally, missiles are powered up, by the way. For me personally, having this, like, character development in the jail right after he stuffed evil demon flowers down a girl's throat and turned her into a ravenous killer that we had to kill in order to save ourselves is, like, I don't know, it's a little soon, I think. But, hey, the game's runtime isn't that long, so, you know. Come on, it's on to the lair. Alright, welcome to the Labyrinth M. And I believe this is the only section of the game where Curly Brace is actually with us and running around. She's got her own sort of, like, rudimentary AI. She's not extremely helpful, I'll admit, but, you know, it's the thought that counts. These little eggs, like these like cocoons, will drop XP, which is quite handy. And I'm going to take this time to try and level up the blade and see if we can show it off. So, cool thing about the blade is that every time you hit a creature with it, I believe it deals 10 damage, take my word for it. God damn it. I'm trying to do a demonstration here, Carly. And you'll notice that us throwing the blade there did 18 damage. And you might be thinking, 18's a bit of a weird damage number. So the fun, and now we just dealt 12 damage, and then 18 damage. So how much damage does the blade deal? So the gimmick of the blade 2 is that it deals damage based on the proximity, on your proximity to the enemy. I believe it can deal up to 20 damage if you're like right on top of the enemy. But it can only, the blade can only have one projectile out at a time. In speed runs that use the blade, you use blade level 2, and you basically use it as a shotgun, or maybe like an actual sword, like it is, you know. Now, blade level 3 is really interesting. When you throw it, you summon like a ghostly specter of King instead. And whenever it hits, god fucking damn it, dude. I'm ruining my own demonstration. Give me that. And it's got these neat little projectiles. You'll notice that it dealt like 1 damage earlier, and it dealt like 8 damage from passing by that thing. But if you can hit him directly, he deals a chunk of damage and also releases a whole bunch of projectiles around in an area. It is largely agreed upon that Blade 3 isn't very good. It deals its direct damage 1 time, and then spends a lot of time out So like during that whole time, I couldn't throw more of them. Whereas if I were to get close to something like this, I could throw a whole bunch of them. Basically, the short version is it deals its damage. When it deals direct damage, it wastes time, and you can't spam it. So, like, Blade 3 is cool. Like, don't get me wrong, summoning a ghost is rad. But it's not that useful. So, whenever possible, we're going to try to use Blade 2. Nice thing about Blade 3 is that it has there is actually 0 XP buffer between level 3 and level 2. So if I take any damage whatsoever, it immediately goes down to level 2. And so it seems like Daisuke Amaya or Pixel, the creator of the game, sort of also knew that like level 3 wasn't where it was at. The intentionality seems obvious. You'll notice that Curly being underwater also gives her an air bubble. This is a nice little thing to show off that she can't drown, and also served as her missile shield earlier, if you remember, and will also become important later. Although in this case, instead of end of game later, it will become important very soon, actually. If we take this teleporter, actually, this will take us back to the Labyrinth shop, which isn't particularly useful, but you know, because the shitty part about this is if you don't have the machine gun and you don't have the booster, which if you were going for like the spur or the snake, you wouldn't have either. You wouldn't have either of those things, or you wouldn't have the machine gun if you were going for the spur or the snake, and you wouldn't have the booster if you were going for the true ending. And so that means if you fall down here, you're stuck. You just completely gotten rid of a whole bunch of progress. And your two options are to either load a save, or to walk all the way back. And I have definitely done that on 1 or 2 of my playthroughs. So that sucks. Don't do that. Here we are, back in the labyrinth. Oh, that's right. I forgot. This song sounds quite different from its original incarnation, but it's good. It's different in a good way, I think. Are we still in the labyrinth? We can't pass through here. We're gonna have to keep moving forward. So I'm gonna save here, and I'm gonna do some light grinding. This next fight is actually quite difficult. Again, if Monster X before didn't give you much trouble, then this next one, especially if you're going for the true ending, will. So the main change between Missile Launcher Normal and Missile Launcher 2 is as opposed to how it was before, you might have noticed that the missiles have like a brief time where they kind of like stop in the air and then accelerate to their speed and then move forward. You'll notice that the super missile has no problems with that sort of thing. It just almost immediately accelerates to its full speed, which is quite nice, but it also deals a fuck ton of damage. And it's orange, and who doesn't love that? Oh, pulleys. We'll do a tiny bit more. I should be using the blade. It's a pretty snazzy weapon, but we'll get plenty of time to use it on the next boss that's coming up. And we'll get to listen to a different song, don't you worry. Come on. I need to stop jumping, that's my problem. I have one more XP. Downside of the super missile is it takes a lot of XP to level up. But once you get there, this motherfucker deals damage. At the moment, our ammo pool is still quite limited, so it'll be reserved for bosses, but that'll change. Let's grab us some missiles. We're looking solid. We're looking solid. All right. I don't have as much HP as, you know, my maximum would allow, but we're on easy mode. How bad could it be? How bad could it be? You save. You hear the sound of running water from the other side. You'd be able to pass through if the gates weren't in the way. Core. This is a strange place. Is it some kind of base? Open blast door? Yes. Opening blast door. Blast door number 4, currently malfunctioning. This is a weird sequence. You go to blast door number 4, which, fun fact, is another instance of tile that looks exactly like another tile but has been modified in some extremely slight, like insignificant way. In this case, it's just the doors that we've been passing through, but it just has the 4 on it. This blast door, it's only opened halfway. I think it must be caught on something. And this is a weird sequence. I don't hate it or anything. It's just weird. You try to open the doors, but the big door doesn't open. Blast door number 4 doesn't open all the way. You have to shoot it, and then it opens. And then Curly moves forward, and she says, "Blast door after blast door." There's nothing. There's something behind all this crazy security, don't you think so? And for some reason, after shooting up the blast door, you have to go back to this console and then hit lower lift. You can't lower the lift unless you shot the blast door, and then that thing goes down. Lift lowered. And now we're in the water, which we haven't spent too much of this game in the water just yet. We're about to. Don't you worry. If we want to make that jump, we have to wait until the water goes down, and then we can open the big blast door. Like I said, kind of a weird sequence, but I think maybe the point of it is to get you to walk through the water and realize you know, just like how your character's momentum has changed and stuff like that, because that'll be important right now and in the next area, but mostly right now. A soldier from the surface. He's been nearly destroyed. There are others like this one all over the place. Who did this? Couldn't have been a Amiga. How could this happen? It's still functional. Rebooting. Team 9 terminated. Unable to eliminate the target. Destruction of target is impossible with currently equipped firepower. Retreat. Retreat. And then Curly gets knocked out. And then... I don't know if the game tells us what this is, but I'll tell y'all. This is the core of the island. It doesn't look like a whole lot right now. And Curly is actually awake and able to help us. But now that we've gotten the monster's HP to this low, the water level is starting to fluctuate and make things really difficult to keep track of. It's not using any of its special attacks. What is going on? Is this part of easy mode? Okay, there we go. So this one blows you back a whole bunch, making it difficult to deal damage to it. And it also shoots these really big projectiles, which deal a pretty hefty amount of damage. And if you're in the water, they're pretty hard to dodge, but it's not so bad. And it just slowly moves forward as the fight goes on. If you don't deal enough damage to it, it'll eventually like kind of close in on the far left-hand side of the screen and becomes a big nuisance to take care of. But you know, with semi-consistent DPS, it won't make it nearly that far. Things were made a little bit easier with the help of the machine gun, but honestly, a lot of that damage was just from the super missile. So, I swear this is kind of hard, but you know, we're on easy. So, You did it. Ah. Ow. That's the same witch who zapped me. Are those children safe? Shut it. Don't act like you're a mother. Do you even know what this thing is? Huh? This is the reason why I hate robots. This is the heart of the island. Now it'll fall if this stops. You really want to die along with the island? You stupid fool. Misery! What are you doing? Move the core to the lab now, while you still have time. And then they teleport the entire core away. And then the water rises, and it's never going to go down. And we can't talk to Curly. What you're supposed to know. So here's a couple things. First of all, you're supposed to know that you need to go to the bottom right corner of this room and find something wrapped around a broken robot's arm. Will you take it? Yes, we will. The tow rope. This is also part of the critical path in order to fight the bonus boss and get the true ending of the game. This only appears if you don't take the booster. So don't take the booster, grab the tow rope, and then drown. This happens no matter what. You lose consciousness. And then, yes, so, did you know? The woman named Junka had a younger brother. His name was Balos. Like his older sister, he had magical powers unlike anybody could imagine. That text only appears if you are on the path to the true ending. And is important to kind of seed interest for the future. If you did a normal playthrough of the game, and then you're doing these steps in order to do the true ending, people who've played this game before are going to be like, who the fuck is Balos? Because Balos is a character that does not appear in this game unless you're on the critical path. So that'll be important later, like a lot of things. Now we can breathe. Curly has given us the air tank. Allows for underwater breathing. Curly gave it to you. But we do have the tow rope. A tow rope for robots. No reply. She's not moving, but appears to still be alive. Will you use the tow rope? Wrapped the tow rope around Curly, and now we're carrying her. And then, when we pass through here, really sad music plays, and normally it plays because Curly will be dead here if you aren't on the critical path. And now, for some reason, maybe because of all the water that's here, the grate is open in this, like, cat head. So now we can just kind of crawl through here. And now we're in the waterway. Okay. There's not a whole lot to talk about here, I don't think. The waterway is an interesting area, but it mostly reuses old enemies and is mostly about doing platforming navigation with the water being a hindrance, which is not a, I don't know, particularly strong gameplay gimmick. And we can cheese some of it since we took the machine gun. But we will make our way through here. This is also one of my favorite music tracks. You gotta make a jump there if you want to make it to this place. And then there's Jellyfish, another enemy that we've seen before. If I remember correctly, the critical path for it is down here. Yeah, like that. So here's another way that the game kind of like fucking pranks you. So when you hit this tile, the game has a tendency to like over shove you, so you have to hold left to stay on this platform, and then you have to make this jump over here, which isn't that much, but the water slows you down enough that it makes you nervous. If you want to stay on the critical path, you have to come here to the waterway cabin, and then if you And then you have to sleep in the bed, I believe. Yes, and then you set Curly down. Now, a mistake that a lot of players make without guides is either just skipping through this place in the first place. This place serves no purpose if you're not doing the true ending. And in fact, I believe if you investigate this computer, nothing shows up. I believe the computer screen is blank, but only if you brought Curly with you. Text is displayed on screen. That reminds me, I also recorded some findings on that notebook. Okay, so let's have a look. The notebook is covered in dust. Open the notebook? Sure. Robots manufactured on the surface have a limited aquatic mobility. In the case of flooding, the system will automatically initiate a shutdown to prevent from short-circuiting. Below are instructions on how to service flooded robots. And now we know how to do that. Flooded systems will begin a reboot process automatically after using the above method of draining. Nothing of interest. Text is displayed on screen. You can do it. Drain the water from Curly? Yes. You're safe. Glad. I thought you were a goner. You lost consciousness and I couldn't think of anything to do about it. So I gave you my air tank. It worked, didn't it? She fell asleep. And then you leave. Nope, that's wrong. You have to talk to her again. The restart process will take some time to complete. And then you have to talk to her again a second time in a row. Would you like to leave her here? No. It is... I have... I have to feel like that sequence is purposefully made to, like, bait people. Like, the fact that you have to come to this cabin, which serves no purpose on your second playthrough. You have to put her on the bed, and I believe then you have to look at the computer, otherwise that doesn't show up, which then leads you to the bookcase, which then leads you to getting rid of the water, and then she talks to you, and then you have to talk to her twice in a row, and then you have to say no to the dialogue box because it asks you if you want to leave her there. I can't help but feel like this is on purpose as like some kind of trolling maneuver. But we got the girl, and now it's time to leave. There's some dangerous platforming here. Our jump is still really shallow, but the extra speed from the waterway will allow us to clear some of these jumps that we otherwise wouldn't be able to clear. And as you can see, there's some spikes up ahead, and so we're gonna have to come over here if we want to avoid taking damage. Camera pans over. Make a big jump. And now we're here. Something's coming. So there is a secret item that we can get here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show it off, but I'll do my best. If we can beat this boss without taking any damage, then we'll get a secret item. So all these pufferfish only deal damage on their way back. They're not too hard to dodge. These blocks deal damage touching the hammerhead, I believe is his name. And I didn't do it there, but that's okay. It is not important. I will bring up like some footage of it at some point during the live stream, I think. I didn't grab that many missile pickups, so my DPS is a bit low. In fact, I probably would have been done with Hammerhead here, like my first time through. Things start shaking. We actually drop Curly, and we lose her. And then we wash up here, back in Mimiga Village, but without Curly. We'll find Curly later. Don't worry about that. The Easter egg is, if you kill the Hammerhead without taking any damage, during that part where everything starts shaking, a bunch of like white squids appear, and the Hammerhead and the white squids both are a reference to a tiny little game that Pixel made before this one. It's called like Ika-chan or something like that, and It's a game where you play as a squid, and I believe the final boss in that game is the hammerhead. So, you know, fun fact. The item in question is the like squid badge, and it doesn't do anything. It's just a fun little acknowledgement of your gaming prowess. But we didn't get it this time, which is a little unfortunate, but that's all right. And everything seems to be kind of dead here. And in fact, I believe if we come over here, yeah, there's no farm music. There's no farm music. There's no farmer. There's no nobody. They're all gone. So what's a girl to do but go to Arthur's house? So Booster shows up here. If you talked to Booster and you got the booster, which makes the sentence sound really stupid, then Booster doesn't show up. He is dead. But since we didn't talk to him, his glasses are fine. He somehow managed to fix those things. And he shows up. Oh, it's you. The doctor has amassed the red flowers. All of the Mamiga of the island have now fallen under his grip. Tragedy is inevitable. Had I known these events would transpire, then I should have at least had Sue escape from the island. Obtained the Booster 2.0. Please honor my final request. If you see Sue one last time, please take her and escape from the island. She is Dr. Sakamoto's daughter. For the longest time that she resisted coming to this island, but she couldn't be left behind all alone. She had no choice but to follow us to the island. Please, take her and escape. And the game doesn't automatically equip it, so we have to go into the menu and equip it ourselves. Press the jump button while airborne and boost in one of 4 directions. Do you want to equip it? Yes. This is the Booster 2.0, and part of the reason why the end game of this game is fucking amazing. You get bequeathed the ability to fucking schmoove. So I didn't show it off at all. But the Booster 0.8 basically acts the way you would expect a jetpack to work. It sort of accelerates you upwards and lets you kind of make like floating jumps and stuff like that. This booster it requires a little bit more dexterity in order to use effectively, but it is much faster, much more powerful, and much more versatile, and will in fact become extremely important from this point of the game forward. And using the Booster 2.0 is what allows you to get back to the first cave and get the spur if you haven't gotten it already, or if you could get it. And in fact, I don't know that I've ever actually gone over here with the machine gun. I wonder if the Hermit Gunsmith will be a little peeved. Did you happen to see the gun that I made? Somebody pilfered it while I slept. I would have just slept with the thing in my chest pocket had I known that was going to be the case. That gun, it wasn't even complete yet. With a little more work put in, it would have become an incredibly powerful gun. Such a shame. But we did not get the spur this time, so a shame it shall remain. The booster is a bit cumbersome to use in conjunction with the machine gun, so I will probably focus on using the booster from this point forward. So sorry, machine gun, you've been outdone. But the booster is quite fun to use. Like I said, big part of why I love the late game of this game. So I believe what we're supposed to do is... Actually, I'm going to check something. Hold on. Checking something. Yep. And that's how Booster got back, presumably. Actually, I'm not going to do this. I have a feeling that it's just not going to work the way I think it's going to work, but also because I just straight up went the wrong way. And I'd have to go through another chunk of the game that I don't really want to. I don't fucking feel like it, whatever. So, and I also just don't think it would work. So, like I said, if you go to the Labyrinth store with certain weapons, you can get different things. The spur gives you a unique item called like the like the Little Dipper or something like that. I don't remember what it's called. But while you're charging the spur, it gives you like a spinning projectile around your character. That's really cool, and I wanted to check out if I could get that. But I already got a thing from him, so I'm pretty sure we're never gonna get that. That's fine. It wasn't meant to be anyway. So welcome to the egg corridor ? There was a violent explosion all of a sudden. Everything was like this after I came back around. What the heck is going on? Oh, you cheeky. Some of these dragons are alive still. And some of these dragonflies are alive also. And you do not take any damage on this difficulty. Max missiles increased to 5. This is when the game starts bringing up its platforming challenge a little bit, because it knows for a fact that you have to have it knows for a fact that at this point you have to have some extra method of transportation. Either the first booster, the second booster, one of those two. And so now things are going to get a little dicey. We're also getting sizable XP increases. I believe this is the only enemy of its kind here. It explodes quite violently, in fact. And I don't know if it's required to shoot it to get to the next portion, but we shot it anyway. Like I said, I believe there's only one of it in the game, which makes it like the second enemy in the game where there's only one of. The other one is a fish, and that shows up in the village that you can shoot. Ouch. We died on easy. I didn't think it was going to deal that much damage. But the chinfish and that weird explosive bubble, there's only one of both of those in the game. And in fact, the chinfish is credited as, like, in the credits, every monster or like creature gets like a very brief description, and the chinfish's brief description is only one, I believe. Ah, right. Missiles back. Fun fact, if you miss the game's first missile pickup, don't fret. Any missile expansion that you pick up from that point forward will give you a missile launcher instead. But you will miss out on that particular expansion unless you go back for it or something. Okay, this time we're not going to get crushed by a rock. Our cock will not get crushed by a rock. Just hug that wall, everything will be fine. You can break the rock if you want to, but yeah, you don't have to. So this is the egg observation room. Here's the setup, and I'll see if I can't pull off a neat little trick. So in this room is a mini boss. Twin dragons is what they're called. They are completely optional. If I go through this door here, then I can just skip the boss. However, there are missiles, I believe, in this chest that I really want. However, when we grab this, the boss doesn't show up for a very brief period of time. And if I'm a gamer, I'm going to be able to grab these missiles and then go through the door. But it didn't work. That's okay. It's definitely possible. I just haven't performed that trick in quite some time. Gamer license revoked. Old man gamer detected for sure, for sure. Defeated the sisters. And it gives you a save point. But yeah, the idea is to do kind of that sort of maneuver. It's good to to just tap it as you wish to get yourself closer to the floor. The main barrier isn't the speed of getting to the door; it's the fact that you have to go through the door right when your feet touch the ground. So getting yourself close to the floor, and that's the way to do it for sure. Back over here, this is where we fought Igor. We can save here, but I don't think it'll be necessary. We'll find out. Egg number 0, baby. Text appears on screen. Incubation successful. Who's over there? And like I said, it was relevant later. It is relevant now, baby. Kazuma shows up. I don't know if you were safe or not. I'm the only person here. After you took off to Sand Zone, we sped up preparations for securing an escape. And it was then that Misery showed up. Sue was taken away, and Professor Booster disappeared somewhere. The doctor has apparently acquired the flower seeds, but I'm not blaming you. The doctor's victory was certain from the moment that he acquired the demon crown, and it's only a matter of time before his Mamiga army is ready to attack the surface. If that does happen, it'll be futile to try and defeat the doctor, even for you. You have no choice but to run from this place. An escape is possible, but only by using a flying dragon, and that's why I came all the way here on my own. The flying dragon that I need hatched safely. Want to escape with me? If you say yes, you leave the island and you get the bad ending, where you and Kazuma hide in a mountain until Kazuma dies of old age and you rust and crumble to dust. No. I see. Truth be told, there is one way that you can change the Mamiga back into their original state. Destroy the island's core. But the island might collapse if you do destroy the core. Is it too dangerous a choice for you to make? Either way, I don't know where to find the core. If you really want to try and do it, then I'll wait for you. But I may need to flee the island at any time if it gets too dangerous for me. And this is another really good song. If you're looking for the core, then you need to really hurry it up. And now we need to travel along the outside of the floating island. But first, we need to come down here. Welcome to the little house. Where'd that husband of mine go? Have you seen my husband? Who are you? And me talking to that red person has given me a flag. Not a flag in the literal sense that I could plant in the ground and claim that I own this place, but in the sense that in the game design sense, where now the game understands that I have completed some kind of a task and I can now reap the benefits. This doesn't look like a door, but it is. Welcome to the clock room. Open the treasure chest. It's the 290 counter. It had a different name in English that was kind of unfortunately named. I believe it was called the Nigamaru counter. But they didn't keep that name in translation. I wonder why. Something is inscribed on the counter. This I present to you, the challenger. In anticipation of your determination, show me your best. Now I believe I don't remember the exact statistics. I'll look it up. I'll look it up right now. I believe that the 290 counter only appears if you're on the critical path. And only appears if you get to this point in the game in a certain amount of time. Let me check. The Nikumaru counter. And the Aeon Genesis translation. Is that what it's called? Damn. Let's see.
It's in the clock room, partway up the outer wall. The room's presence is indicated with a sign that has a clock symbol on it. If the player guides the character to the left of the screen, or to the left of the sign, they should encounter an opening that they can interact with to go through. The screen will transition to the clock room, whose size fits within the parameter of the screen. The 290 counter will be found in a chest surrounded by multiple spikes. It is possible only when the player has the booster 2.0 and if the player has saved Curly. If Quote carries the booster 0.8 and Curly has not been saved, he cannot open the chest in which the counter is located. This will be important later. But for now, we have the counter, and we are moving on with our bad self. This is a ghost cat that fires yarn. This is also another weirdly unique thing about this place. A lot of unique things in this game, which makes me which I'm quite fond of. The unique thing in this case is all the pickups just float to the left for some reason, and also there's alligators here too, but this time they're blue. And also these little jumpy dudes that are that also apparently just are built different and have different gravity. Oh god. You can fall off the island and die. And if you do, instead of exploding like you normally do whenever you die, the game just gives you a very sad, like you did not make it message. And I think it plays unique death music, maybe. Who's this guy? I'm a human. I was turned into a Mimiga by magic. Huh? You mean you're not a killer robot? You stole me pretty badly by coming in so suddenly. Are you here to save us? I'm Ito, one of the humans who came to study the island. Misery gave me this lovely new Mimiga appearance. And I could probably run away, but take a look at me and how I am now. I'm stuck. You must have climbed all the way up the wall from the outside. I'm quite a capable engineer, but I also have an innate fear of heights. Ugh. I shouldn't have come to such a place like this floating island. You don't need anything from this miserable man who happens to be stuck here. Alright, moving on. Welcome to the plantation. And this is where the title screen's music comes in. Passage, question mark? This becomes important later. But for now, we can take a look at the statue chamber. We get to see Halder, we get to see Anna Tupon, and we get to see Miyakido, and we can clearly see a statue of the Doctor being built. Like I said, if we come here later, that is how you're supposed to learn the name of the Doctor. But the statue isn't done yet, so we'll see that later. Welcome to the plantation. Okay. We are in the final stretch. Do these guys attack? Okay, yeah. These guys don't do anything if you don't fight them. These enemies you can also kind of ride on. Sometimes they'll deal damage to you anyway. Another strange instance of uniqueness. But nobody will talk to us. Sprinkler is... Oh, I can't be talking to humans. Like I said, you've definitely noticed this by now, but the sort of geography of the areas that we're going to now is vastly different because, once again, the game expects you to have the booster. So things have become a lot less hospitable. We got more HP. We are close to the maximum, I believe. No one will talk to us, so we go in here, the rest area. Yo, haven't we met somewhere before? It must have been at the village. That witch Misery brought me here. I really dislike farming. Gotta go clear my head with some fishing for a little bit. You like to fish? There's another chance maybe I'll bump into you again. Well, that's not gonna be important. What does that sign say? Careful with the spitting gunfish. Note they can be used as steps. So they can. I actually forgot about that. Oh, it's you. I got something strange. You can take it if you want. It's inside the bucket. Peek inside the bucket. You can see an item of some kind shining within. A teleporter room key. Teleport to Arthur's house? Sure, why not? I found you, killer robot. Hey, you. Are you dead or something? Oh, you're awake. I thought you were already dead. So, here's another fun fact. You'll notice while I'm talking to this guy, the camera shifts to the left here. I thought you were already dead. Sue would smack you and you wouldn't move an inch. This place is a jail. Those who oppose the doctor are locked up here to be used as test subjects for his ongoing experiments. Sue said as much. Are you a friend of hers? You're a little bit too late. She was here as well. She worried about you so much. It was only a few minutes ago that she was carried off. Now if we talk to him again, note how even though the camera is has pressed itself against the right side of the screen, if I talk to him, and by the way, she snuck something in your pocket while she was taken away. So that block gets removed by triggering that dialogue box. What I was gonna say is I could have swore talking to him at any point moves the camera to the left, but it seems like the camera gets moved to the left and then you're expected to talk to him again, and then it sort of disguises the block disappearing, but we got past that here. But we do have Sue's letter, actually. Want to read it? Sure. Hey, it's me, Sue. I don't remember telling you anything about us. We came to the island as a research group. It was me, my mom, Kazuma, Professor Booster, and a few assistants, and the doctor was with us too. He was supposed to take care of our medical needs, and did, I guess, but that all changed when we found the demon crown. That crown used to belong to the master of this island. It grants immense magical powers to the person who dons it. The doctor knew about it well before coming to the island, and it's the reason he forced himself onto our group. And after he grabbed hold of the crown, that was pretty much it. We couldn't do anything about it. The only thing we could do was continue the research of the island under his command. He seeks to rule the surface, using the island as a flying fortress. From what I can tell, he plans on attacking the surface with the enraged Mimiga army. Was able to escape, however. The other researchers are probably... Of course, he's using the innocent Mimiga to grow a large quantity of the red flowers, and once he's ready to attack, he's going to send the Mimiga into a state of insane rage by feeding them red flowers, with his powers from the crown who control them, and me too. If you can get out of the jail, please look for a hidden safe house, somewhere within the plantation. If my mom is still alive, she'll be there, working on a plan of her own to beat the doctor. Please, help her as much as you can. Before I forget, the password to get into the safe house is Yurat's Evac, or Cave Story backwards. Additional fun fact about this game, specifically Yurat's Evac. The Japanese name of this game is, I believe, Dukutsu Monogatari, and so the password in Japanese should be something like Ritagano Matsukudo or something like that. In the alpha translation, whatever the wiki called it, the translation that most people who played Cave Story in its original form are familiar with, the translators for some reason translated it as Litigano Matsukoud, which doesn't make any sense at all. And I'm kind of surprised that they didn't pick on the idea of using Yurat's Evac, but maybe they just didn't understand that it was supposed to be Cave Story backwards. Fun fact. Yurat's Evac. This is Sue's mom. So you're the hero Sue's been talking about. I'm glad. I'm Mamoran Sakamoto, Sue's mother. She has one of my favorite dialogue boxes in the entire game. We'll see if we can't guess which one it is. I took my chance working at the doctor's side, and after the flower seeds were located, I was of no use to the doctor. I was thrown off the island unceremoniously. Not very nice. She somehow came back. I love this dialogue box. Because this is all she says on the matter. She's like, "Oh, I was of no use, so he threw me off the floating island." And when we see images of the floating island later, it's really high up. It basically would have been like a skydiving accident. And so not only did she survive that somehow, she decided to sneak back. She decided to come back onto the floating island, sneak into the plantation, and do the thing that she's doing here now. And then, after saying that she was thrown off the island, she says, "Men who treat women without respect are barbarians," which is an interesting way to translate this line. In the alpha translation, she says something to the effect of like, "It would seem that chivalry is dead," which I think is really fun. Anyway, that aside, I'm presently building a rocket for you. It'll take you all the way up to the doctor's throne. But evidently, I don't have enough of the parts. Oh, I'm gonna borrow that. Mamoran takes the booster, so now we don't have it anymore. There are still not enough of the necessary parts to complete the rocket. Are you busy now? No. That's a good answer, to be expected from a hero. So for now, wear this. Obtain the Mimiga mask. It suits you, even if it's a tad too large. The Mimiga work in the plantation are forbidden from speaking with any humans. With that outfit on, you should be all set to chat with them. Got it? There's a minimum amount of electricity needed in order for me to finish the rocket. If I can get one of those sprinklers in the plantation, that might just be enough. So please, do whatever it takes to get a sprinkler. So now we look like a happy little rabbit dude. Admittedly, having the booster taken from us at this point in the game isn't that big of a deal. Especially since we have the machine gun. So our duty is to get one of the sprinklers, which is actually pretty easy. If you remember, before when we were running around as a robot and not as a Mimiga, this dude up here said something about the sprinkler, and it seems that it's not working. It broke again. Hey, you, new guy, go exchange the sprinkler with a new one that hopefully works. Broken sprinkler. Broke again. Use this one more carefully. Would this really be the last few seeds that we need to grow? We barely have enough sprinklers. I'm exhausted. I don't believe that, Doctor. Robots? Whatever. I'm not scared even a tiny bit. Indeed, surface robots did attack this island. In fact, some of my friends were killed that time. Even so, a few of those robots seemingly understood us. I believe that these robots possessed hearts and souls. Well, that won't be important later. Skip all that. The red flower will turn us into the strongest warriors. In fact, we Mimiga have been this powerful all along. The battle against the robots wasn't just a legend. I wonder when they'll bloom. I'm getting really sick and tired of all this farming. You actually can't give it back to him, which is pretty funny. You're a new face around here. You must be puzzled to having been brought here so recently. Whatever. Don't even think about doing anything rash. If you run away and you're caught, they're gonna toss you in jail. I'm safe and I get to eat my meals. That's only so long as I take care of their silly flowers. Why aren't you working? Get out of here. Long live the great doctor. Defeating the mean killer robots will be so simple with the red flowers in our possession. Bloom quickly, little red flower. Red flowers are being grown in preparation for an attack against the surface. If what the doctor says is true, we need to make these red flowers bloom at once. So everyone's been sort of convinced that the red flowers are good, which is very unfortunate. What's the password? Throwback. Now we've got the little doohickey, the sprinkler. More than enough battery power on this one. I think this might work. Next, can you look for a man by the name of Ito? He conceitedly calls himself a famous technician, but he's a big fat coward. Ito was the first to run from the doctor, but I don't think he got very far from here. It's interesting for her to say he couldn't have gone far from here. Maybe it's the game's way of trying to remind you of who he is, because there's no other way to get to the plantation than by coming through this room where Ito has the cutscene and he's like, it's me, Ito, the famous technician, go away. So here he is. We found him. That's me. Sakamoto's making a rocket. I had no idea she was still alive and well. She really is strong. Compared to her, I'm... Alright, take this. I think perhaps that this is what Sakamoto needs. Say hello to her for me. He won't even come with us. That dirty bitch. Throwback. Welcome back. Did you find Ito? There's no doubt about it. Ito made this controller. Without him in here helping me, it'll be difficult to perform the analysis. Well, I'll do what I can. You've done well. This process will take some time before it's finished. Take a rest down below. There's a bed for you. You're well rested. All right. Did you see, Paul? The rocket's finished. Sure, you can beat the doctor, yes? I believe that you can. Please take this. You won't need that mask any longer. Directly above us is a way that leads to the throne. Should be able to make it there using this rocket. The Mimiga and the plantation are all gone now. That means the red flower must have already been put to use. Well then, please get on the rocket and hurry to the doctor's throne. I'm back. Trying to hide was useless, and the rocket would never be completed without me. By the way, if you defeat the doctor, think I'll become human again? So we have to re-equip the booster, but we got our functionality back. You want to launch the rocket? Yes, please. Now, however, yes, here's the dog I mentioned earlier. It's been a while, woof. I've been hired as a courier. This is for you. Obtained the life capsule, and I believe this is like the second to last health upgrade in the game. Max life increased by 5. You're gonna fight the doctor. You have my support. By the way, tell Curly I said hi. And that's the game reminding us we gotta go find Curly. Also, fun fact, if we launch the rocket and we stand under here for a little bit, if I remember correctly, it doesn't actually kill us. If it does kill us, it's not that big of a deal. You just get pushed under the ground. I don't think you can move. It's hard to tell, but the camera will move. And by pushing down, your character sinks through the floor. And I believe this is the only time in the game where anything like that happens. It's another strange occurrence, and a long list of strange occurrences in this game. The doctor from the surface is in the Mimiga of the Silent to grow red flowers for him. Similar kinds of events have occurred in the past too. So Curly Brace has been hiding here. I haven't said hi to her yet, but we can say hi to her now. Who are you? This gal fell down near the spring. She doesn't remember who she is. Probably scrap metal now. Just one thing. I've heard about some kind of special mushroom that supposedly helps recover one's memory of Eden. I wonder if that'll work on this poor girl too. There's one thing I'm going to check before I go to someplace where I know where we need to go. Kind of flubbed that jump a bit, but we can recover it with this here machine gun. Ah, right, yes. So this is not that important, but it's supposed to be sort of like, it's supposed to be like an aha moment. This is how Kazuma and how Booster got here. They got here, they got here through the jail. Not very important, as I said, but you know, it's there. So instead of using that teleporter, we're gonna use this teleporter over here. What? You're fine? Hello? I completely forgot that that guy never gets caught or captured or anything of the sort. He just hangs out here and fishes and weird shit happens around him. So we got caught at this teleporter earlier, but we can actually use this to teleport to Arthur's house. Take Sue with you and leave this island, please. So there's two things that we need to do here. First is, you remember when I was in the cemetery and I said that two things would be important later. The first one is, this is the farm. This is not the cemetery. I am a dingbat. Okay, so the first one is, you remember that little dude I pointed out earlier? He's wandering around like right over here. My wife's been looking for me. That's probably because I haven't been home in a long time. Fine, I'll go home. Certainly you'll take me there, yes? And now, Mr. Little is in our inventory. We there yet? That's all he says. Yo, random cave story stream. Hey, how's it going? Kevin, yeah. How's it going? Storage. And, technically we could have gone up here with the machine gun, but I don't think this guy would have talked to us at that point. You got some business with me? Yeah. Amnesia? Oh, that's terrible. You want the mushroom badge? I think we have to say yes. Yes. You don't really need it then. No. Wait, you really do want it? Yes. You really want it no matter what? Yes. Then you don't need it. Well, then I'll give it to you. Obtain the mushroom badge. Mushroom badge. A mushroom badge obtained from Ma Pignan. It serves no purpose. Found me out. That's just a normal badge. Say what? You say you're gonna eat me? A very, very valuable mushroom. And the only one in this cave, too. Don't think for a minute that I'll let you eat me without putting up a fight. It's on. Now we gotta fight a mushroom, of all things. I need to... Oh, shit. Wait, is he just immune to the blade? Okay. I didn't know that about this guy. I have leveled down my machine gun, which is gonna make this go way slower. Hey, we found the real one. On accident. Hell yeah. And now we've got the mushroom. Said to have the power to restore memories. Okay. It's not going to be important, and we'll see why, but I kind of want to see if I can't get my level back up so I can get the ability to, like, fly again. I mean, what am I saying? I can fucking fly. I got the booster. What's wrong with me? We're fine. We're probably fine. So now we gotta go to Arthur's house. I'm gonna save just in case. It's probably not that important, but I have a compulsion. Now I can go all the way back to the plantation. All right, and with the mushroom in hand, we are going to be able to restore Curly's memories. Love paranoia saving. Yeah. I've died in too many silly ways in this game that even though I'm playing on easy mode, it's just like, there's a tiny possibility that something awful could happen. So why not? Want to use the Ma Pignan? Yes. Stuffed it into Curly's mouth. I don't know, that's the way I would describe it, but all right. Quote. Now I remember your name is Quote. This is supposed to be like a big reveal, but I've said his name a couple times already during this live stream, so I kind of ruined the surprise. But his name is Quote, and her name is Curly Brace, and their keys on a keyboard, and it's really funny. You and I are, well, before a great number of us robots were sent to this island. We were sent by the countries of the surface. The purpose of the mission, it was the incredible slumbering power found on this floating island. It was also about the demon crown. But you and I were different. We were sent on a mission to destroy that power. The island, it was in a mess when we landed, ravaged by the robots. They murdered scores of poor Mimiga, and it was horrible. And finally, one man seized the demon crown. The robot's mission was complete, and the island fell totally silent. But that was simply the beginning of the tragedy. Hey, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. And wow, spoilers. Yeah, that's partially my bad, and also partially because I don't know. His name isn't like a huge reveal in my opinion, but you know, is what it is. The man who was able to capture the crown turned the Mimiga into beasts, and they began attacking the surface. I faced him and tried my best to defeat him, and you were with me then. That's all I can remember. The crown bearer was surely injured by both of our attacks that time. How about you? Do you recall anything? I'm fine now. Don't worry about me. Oh, here. Yeah, you have to talk to her again to get this thing, and I'm pretty sure this thing is what enables the the super duper cool guy ending. The Iron Bond. Your connection to Curly Brace, the only person that you trust. You'll see each other once again, surely. Okay, so now there is one more piece of business that we have to conduct before we get out of here. Another paranoia save. We actually have to get Mr. Little back to his family. Let's get our fuel back. Yeah, there we go. And Sue's brother isn't here also. But where could he be? I'm home. Home sweet home is the best. Wow, wow. That's a beautiful sword there. How about you trade it for my splendid gun? We'll do it. Gave him the blade. And we obtained the Nemesis. And the Nemesis is a very cool weapon. So the Nemesis's gimmick is it is an extremely powerful weapon at level 1, but it gets shittier as it levels up. So shitty, in fact, that let's level it up while we're here. I'm bad. That's why we do paranoia saves. That's my old man gamer acting up. I can't even float with this if I wanted to. I'm holding off on leveling up because spoilers, our gun XP is going to be forcefully taken away from us soon enough, so it's not going to matter. Nemesis gives some nice PTSD from the challenge. The Nemesis. I feel weird about the Nemesis. It's a good weapon, don't get me wrong, but in, I don't know, like lore or story terms, you're trading in the like prized sword of like the village like fighter that maybe contains his soul or something, depending on how literal you interpret the level 3 of the weapon, and you get a gun for it that has no sentimental value whatsoever. The Nemesis is such a cool, it's really cool. I love it. So even just getting 1 XP is enough to level it up, and you can kind of already tell that it's becoming worse. But it takes almost no XP for it to level up to 3 also. And once it gets to level 3, it shoots ducks. And the ducks don't do a whole lot, but they're very funny. You know, I never realized how weird it is in the lore. Yeah. Don't worry, King. I'll put this gun to good use. And each bullet literally deals 1 damage. So at max level, it is even worse than the Polar Star. So yeah, there's that. But enough of that. Let's get the heck out of here. And let's actually start doing like the second to last sequence of the game. And then do the last sequence of the game. Hopefully. We'll see. It's starting to get kind of late where I'm at. And I haven't done a Hell/Sanctuary run in a really long time. So I might be extremely rusty. We'll see how it goes.
We avenged King by trading his sword in for a gun. We're missing some HP. I'll rest up at the bed. And then we'll do another safety save, and then we'll be on with the rest of our quest. Get up to bed. Save. Touch. And the rocket launches us so fast that we can get past these crushers. Oh, I forgot there was another save up here. Alright. And now, a black wind blows through your body. All weapons drop to level 1. So that's kind of irritating, because now we're going to have to re-level up our super missiles and everything else. But probably just the super missiles, because at this point we can lean in real heavily on the Nemesis and kind of have it carry us. As long as, you know, we don't accidentally level it up. So this is the final cave, I believe is what it's called. I'm pretty sure I just read it out and forgot it. These spikes deal a lot of damage. This, like, blood or whatever it's supposed to be, also deals a lot of damage. But this final cave changes appearance and difficulty based on... I don't know if it's based on whether you have the Booster 2.0 specifically or if you're on the critical path. But we're playing the hard version of the final cave. Ouch. And so this will be a little tough, but I am also... there goes my weapon. But we are also playing on baby mode, so maybe it won't be that bad. Yeah, we're going to forcefully level down here. Wow. We don't deal enough damage to one-shot those guys. We are losing HP faster than I would like. I always never get that little XP container. It's just not worth it for me. These bats are interesting. They don't interact with the background element at all, which is, I believe, yet another example of a weird cave story thing that's unique in this regard. I really should be leveling up the missile launcher, but I have no idea how you get the... I don't know how you get it damageless. I did it once and I've never been able to. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the idea is it's just supposed to require some serious finger dexterity, which I just don't have. Mostly because I'm out of practice. Ah, come on. Ah, that was big XP. Come here. I'll take it. I've got health for days because I'm playing on baby mode. Ah, just barely. Okay. I'm leveling up the wrong things. I've got my muscle memory all fucked. This will be a little difficult, but we'll see. So this guy is unique to the hard version of the final cave, and he's immediately going to start throwing some hands. His attack pattern is simple: 3 attacks on the ground, 3 attacks in the air, and repeat. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But yeah, baby mode makes it not too bad. And you get the Medal of the Red Ogre, which I believe doesn't do anything either. Small and incredibly heavy. It has no use. Hooray! I hate this.
Well, I can just touch this and then we'll be fine. And we're not even level 2 yet. I'm bad. If I... God damn it. If I was doing the like slow swap strats, I would probably be level 2 already, but... It's fine. I'm fine. That got really hairy. I leveled up again. I am shooketh. My heart skipped a beat. Yeah, that did not go the way I wanted that to. Huh, I never thought about damaging him like that. I'm gonna intentionally take some damage here. Yeah, I would probably be dead if I wasn't playing on baby mode, but that's okay. We fought one of these way back before. Let me take a rest. We don't have any missiles, I think. I think we're out of missiles. You want to save? Yes, please. And Igor's back too, which is quite interesting, actually. He has way more HP than he did before. And when he dies, he like dies for real. He explodes and leaves a bunch of Doritos behind. But we can jump up here. If I remember correctly, there's a bunch of XP. Yeah, there's XP, there's health. And if we go even higher, there's a sign that says end of the road. And I believe in the other translation, it says that's all, folks, which is pretty fun. Now I want Doritos. These things give hella XP, and it looks like they also have missiles. So, for all intents and purposes, we're not going to get much better prepared than this. I'm not going to grind for missiles. I'll probably be fine. It's baby mode. But this is the throne room. It's you again. You really are tenacious. To destroy the core. Is that why you're here? Before I thought you were just a reckless little robot, but I underestimated you. You should know I have no regrets about this island. It's my fate to obey the one who wears the crown. Prepare yourself. So now we get to fight this lady. She's kind of small, so... a bit of a nuisance to hit. Falling rocks. That'll show up again later. Ouch. Ouch. 1 damage. Yeah, I can just tank a lot of damage from this, considering. Ow, again. I think I'd be mostly fine, even on normal difficulty. The babiest of baby mode. Would kill for some Doritos at almost 2 a.m. for real. 2 a.m. Doritos hit different. Yeah, we've got most of our HP. I'd probably be fine even not on baby mode. I'm being slightly handicapped by the fact that I don't use the machine gun. Hey, you're the traveler I met a while back in my house. You come to save me? Doctor's afraid of us. That's why he put us in jail. There's no mistaking it. Finally, it's complete. Mimiga become enraged when we introduced the red flower as a form of medication. Its cause is rather simple. The red flower brings out latent abilities. Not only this, but it also contains a compound that destroys one's reasoning. And now I have successfully extracted and intensified it, which is this red crystal. Weird. It's not really a fun fact because it has not a whole lot to do with the game. For some reason, seared into my brain, there was a forum for Cave Story that I used to just like check in on every once in a while, years and years and years and years and years ago, when I was a baby, like in middle school or something like that. And there was one user who popped up fucking everywhere, and his profile icon was the doctor, like edited to look like a chef, and his little like at the like bottom of forum posts where you can have like a signature or something like that. His signature said something like, and I've extracted its properties into this red muffin, and I don't know why, but it's something that's seared into my brain and I can't get rid of it. It's there permanently. And this red crystal, it works on humans as well. Amazing. You understand how extraordinary this is? You don't understand, do you? Well then, I'll give you a very special lecture right now. So, he's giving us a very special lecture, but he's also fighting in the laziest way possible. I'm pretty sure the only thing he does is teleport, throw some fireballs, teleport, and then after a while, I believe soon here, yeah, he'll do this explosion, which is also extremely telegraphed, and that's it. And he doesn't have that much HP, so he falls apart pretty quickly. The power, it's out of control. And then he becomes the Muscle Doctor. He does his best to, I believe, just like teleport right onto your location. I have the Nemesis for a reason. I should be using it. Yeah, he teleports on top of you. He does the fucking bat spray. He tries to like sit on you. I don't think these bats drop XP, so I'm just gonna power through them. But he dies fairly quickly. Defeated the Doctor. Hooray! And now, if we talk to her, you did well. I feel a little like a celebrity. Sue? Yeah, I know her. That girl looks like a mimic, but she's really a human, isn't she? Well, my eyes can't be fooled. She's not here, though. You're strong, aren't you? Like our great hero, Arthur. It gives us a little heart increase. Oh yeah, it's Santa. I lost my key in the bushlands. Gotcha. Yeah, that doctor's a bad guy. I didn't know they did that. Yeah, it gives you a really fun like post-battle like health up, which is really fun. Learn something new every day. Yeah. Not bad at all. I know too much about this game. And here's the core again. Hold it right there. Stay away from the core if you care for this one's life. Huh. For a robot, you seem to have human emotions. You're different from the others who came here many years ago. And to think that the new king was defeated by you. Even so, we'll make a deal. You can fall to your doom with the island, or you can forget about everything here and leave. And if you leave here right now, I'll guarantee your life. Otherwise, I won't let you escape. Who's there? Already forgotten your master's voice. The power of the red crystal is incredible. Even now, I feel so alive. Although my body has succumbed, my consciousness is clear. I feel as if I've become a superhuman. Unbelievable. What's wrong, Misery? Is this form dreadful? Those who cheat death disappear. You can't be helped. Those foolish enough to forget their master need not free will. Misery, until the day you die, you will be my puppet. And she roids out into this strange creation. We gotta go. And she gets hit by the red crystal and becomes a rabbit girl, which is weird, but okay. All right. I won't let you escape your life. So now, this fight's actually a little intense. We've got to contend with the actual boss, which is the zombie core, I believe is what it's called. We have to deal with Super Misery, who's going to be throwing projectile at us, and Super Sue, who's going to be doing fucking flip kicks and shit at us. And all these characters have a lot of HP. It's usually a pretty good idea to, I believe you can knock Sue out. I've leveled up. I didn't know there was a possibility. Yeah, you can knock her down. And now she'll stop bothering us. A bit of a waste of time, but, you know, it gets her off our back, so it's not too bad. So depending on what face is in the Demon Core depends on what kind of attack he's going to be doing. And I'm losing a lot of HP. I am so used to being carried by a weapon that doesn't need to be leveled up. I swear to God. Alright, let's focus a little bit here. Well, I had it and then I lost it. Okay. We've got some XP. That one hurts. You don't want to get hit by that. But there you go. I took so much damage, but I am out of practice, so whatever. You destroyed the undead core. If this is a regular difficulty, I'm pretty sure I would have died. I think easy halves the damage. But again, I'm used to using the spur or the snake, so I never would have thought that we'd be able to safely get back to the surface. I wonder if those kids are safe or not. An earthquake. Easy as half damage. Gotcha. You can kill Misery during that fight. Yeah. I usually just hit Sue because Sue is, in my opinion, like a whole lot more obnoxious. The island's starting to collapse, and at this rate, it's only a matter of time until this area collapses too. We need to escape. You'll be squished if you don't run fast enough. I believe, if I remember correctly, the sign up here changes during this time. I might be wrong. End of the road. Nope. Okay, so this is where the like true ending and the regular ending differentiate. By going into this house, we become locked in, and we get a save point here. If you have saved Curly, gotten the iron bond, yada yada yada, all the junk that we had to do to get to this point, you can come into this building, and there's a hole in the ground. Misery's annoying, but enemies sometimes give health drops, which is nice. Yeah, that one's not too bad. And then you unlock this entire area down here. The 290 counter is activated. This is probably going to take me a couple tries. We'll see. A black wind blows through your body. All weapons drop to level 1. So welcome back to welcome to hard mode.
Did you know that the woman named Jenka had a younger brother? His name was Balos. And like his sister, he possessed magical powers that no man had. And this is dialogue from earlier in the game. I think... I'm gonna try something stupid. I'm gonna try to just use the Nemesis. Obtained a life capsule. He led and protected the people with his magical power. They loved and trusted him, even more so than their own king. Curly, we gotta go. Welcome to hell. Yeah. So this room is the one that, in my opinion, sucks the most, because a huge chunk of it is just RNG. Shit. Christ. The falling blocks are completely random. The little flying angel dudes, I believe they're called buttes, are, they spawn off screen whenever one of them dies. I think there's a maximum of 5 on screen at a time. Good luck on your venture with only the Nemesis. Jealous of Balos, the resentful king caught and imprisoned him. His punishment was severe and cruel. Humans truly are terrible creatures. On normal mode, also, each of these rocks deals 10 damage, which means you can only get hit like twice before it's just like, okay, no more, please, thank you, I'm good. Balos was driven into a state of pure, uncontrollable rage by the punishment. Weakened by the torture, he was helpless to contain the fury. The king and the kingdom were swallowed by Balos' wild magical force. The life that he loved so dearly was turned into ruins in a single night, shrouded only by fiery, hot ashes. Bitch. Give me that rock. So, this is where, like, a lot of 290 counter junk, like, becomes, like, relevant. Because a lot of these characters and mechanics are mostly here just to waste your time. Here, I'm gonna equip the, I'm going to have Curly do most of the shooting here, and I'm going to equip the machine gun just so I don't accidentally level up my Nemesis. Driven insane by his punishment, Balos was confined to the floating island in the sky by his sister Jenka, and that was all she could do. For Jenka, killing her own younger brother would be impossible. I'm going to try a speedrun strat, we'll see if I die. Wow, this guy's got a low HP. So you can use the iframes to go through that particular block there, which would normally insta-kill you. Yowza, I'm taking so much damage. Jenka's witch daughter Misery is to blame for the demon crown. I hate these dialogue boxes. She forced Balos to create it. Because of this offense, she was cursed by the crown, compelled to obey whoever possesses it. The curse can be lifted if the demon crown is destroyed, however. Doing this mostly for posterity. There is a hidden chest up here, and that gives you 24 fucking missiles. It's a lot of missiles. All right. Now, because I'm not playing on speedrunner mode, I'm playing on, like, normal game mode. I should have read that out. I was on autopilot. I'm sorry. That is the supreme magical power of his eternally enraged soul. It is intrinsically imbued into his evil creation, the Demon Crown. So Balos made the Demon Crown. The timer's running, but whatever. We can't go back through this door. If you remember this room, this is in the plantation. And if we go through here, in the statue chamber, the doctor's statue is actually completed. And it says, Date Fuyuhiko. And that's his name, apparently. And you can also destroy these statues. And each of them gives a some kind of big reward. In this case, they've been giving me a lot of XP, but I know that they can also give like big health drops and stuff like that. And you can change them to Curly Brace, King, Toriko, and Quote, which is pretty sick. And because I'm playing this level from the story, I have access to the life pot. And there's no better time to use it than now. Please kill my master. Doing so will liberate misery from her eternal curse. This is the only way that a recurrence of the tragedy can be stopped. My master's name is Balos. He's a man who cannot die. His magic is beyond any control. I am Balos. Long, long ago, I allowed my drive for magical power to grow recklessly without fear of enduring any retribution. A magic so powerful that even its own master was helpless to contain it. So furious and unstoppable was this force that its fire consumed the child who adored me and the wife who loved me. They were swallowed by its flames and suffered dearly, all because of my selfish transgression. My eyes were affixed, and I was unable to turn away from the fiery horror created by my own magic. I could only laugh then. Genka sealed me away, with my magic raging more violently with each passing minute. I've waited long for this, for the person who will bring my immense magical fury to its end. Now kill me, or I shall kill you. And so this is the game's bonus boss. This is Balos. Big deal. He's not actually super difficult of a boss. I could be tanking a lot more hits if I want to do some like speed strats, but we're playing it safe. And in this form, he mostly just charges at you in a circle, and he makes that bone shockwave, and then he jumps up here, and he calls down lightning, which is not too bad. You can get to second phase pretty easy. He jumps down, a little target appears, and then a big rock of his head comes down. The speed strat here is to just jump into his eyeball. Here, in fact, I'll switch to the rocket launcher to show how fast I can go. It can go fairly quick, but I don't have my rocket launcher leveled up, so we're taking our time on this one. I need to let Curly do some more fighting since I am now less good at shooting. There's two separate strats for this. One involves the missile launcher, and the other one involves using the blade. Fun fact: if you have level 2 blade and you stand in the nook of his eye and you shoot this way, like away from the eye that I'm facing, the blade's hitbox is big enough that you'll hit his eye with the blade, and you'll hit it with Curly's nemesis, and that'll give you the big damage. Usually this form of Balos is pretty easy because I use the spur, and the spur is basically made for this version of the fight. Not too bad. I'm shooting ducks. I'm shooting ducks again. Yeah. Here, maybe I won't be using Nemesis anymore. So this form is not too bad. All you got to do is get rid of all the open eyeballs that are surrounding him. He sends some skulls down, which is a bit of a nuisance, and you kind of have to weave your way through him while he's spinning around, which is also a bit of a nuisance, but it's not too bad. The speedrun strat, I'm going to try to show off what the speedrun strat looks like, but in case I don't get it, the general idea is you take damage on these spikes that are going to be coming out of the ground, and you use your iframes to fly through his barrier into the nook of his eye, kind of like in Phase 2, and then you just blast the fuck out of him because he doesn't have any HP in this final form. But I only have level 2 missiles, so it'd be pretty disappointing if I'm going to be honest. So, nope, I don't want to do that. Shit, I didn't even do it. Something like this. Which looks extremely unimpressive since I'm on baby mode and also I don't have level 3 missiles, but that's what that's supposed to look like. Speedrun strat is so much fun if you have level 3 missiles. Yeah, because it takes no time to get past that form. There's two things I'm not used to, and I'll talk about that in a second. It stopped. Then it stopped falling. Was the negative power weakened with his defeat? I don't really get it, but whatever. Maybe our work here is finally over. Can't breathe. Huh? Hot. Hot. So painful. The wall. We're both gonna be crushed in here. Hey. It's him. There you are, just like Misery said. You came here to save us? Hold on tight. Here we go. Alright. How's your head? A little beat up? So easy, and curse broken. Curse broken? What? Hello? Why did I get curse broken here? Best ending. Apparently, I never got the cursed ending. Huh, okay. I don't know. I've definitely beaten this game multiple times, and I guess I just never got that Jiva. I don't feel too bad about that. So the two things I'm not used to is, one, I'm not used to easy difficulty, which made that a walk in the park. I wouldn't have been able to be nearly as greedy and nearly as sloppy if I was playing on normal mode. I heard Steam achievements were broken. Yeah, now that you mention it, I do remember something like that. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so one, I'm used to usually having the spur. Two, I'm also at this point used to doing the like sanctuary run through the like challenge menu, which doesn't give you a missile launcher if I remember correctly. And usually in that I use Blade and Nemesis primarily for damage. Both of those weapons are pretty sick. Also in that mode you don't get the full heal. So not only did we cheat by being on easy mode, but we super cheated by having the full heal. But it is what it is. I guess I'm just thankful that I was able to get it done tonight instead of having to go through like multiple tries and stuff like that. Such a narrow escape. I thought it was scrap metal. I thought it was scrap metal this time. Way back in the day, like 2015, 2016, when I first started live streaming. If I didn't know what I was live streaming, I would just play through. I would just do a playthrough of Cave Story. And if I didn't know what I was playing, what the live stream was really going to be about at the end of my playthrough, then that would just be the stream. It would just be a Cave Story playthrough. And sometimes I would just be too tired, or just I don't know, the stars wouldn't line up or whatever. Sometimes the runs just never finished. Even when I was like playing this game really regularly, Sanctuary is pretty fucking difficult. So I'm glad to not have to embarrass myself and just not be able to finish it tonight. Looks like we owe you yet another one. There's no need for that. I did what Misery asked. Misery? You mean that witch? Yep. Doesn't she hate us? Wait, don't you hate us? You two defeated Balos. Our curse was lifted thanks to you. Misery and I no longer have to listen to orders from anyone. I thought you were a bad guy, but it was just because of the demon crown? Well, you asked for it. You gotta remember, it was Misery who had Balos make the crown. Huh? Really? I didn't know that. Yep. And now? What are you gonna do now? I can take you anywhere. Well, since you asked, our mission's complete, so I want to live somewhere calm with a nice view. Pardon me, but, yeah? Can I go with? Sure. All three of us. We can live together for sure. Really? You can even pick the spot where we all live. But take us someplace nice. Gotcha. All right. Hang on tight. That's it. That's the entire game. That's the entire game and everything I know about it, and some things I don't even, and some things I didn't know about it. And then I love the art that shows up during the credits. The colons, that's good. I forgot about that. I am a nurse. Also, hell yeah. I love this game. This game a long time ago was famous for basically being one of the like granddaddy games of indie games. You know, back when like God, like fucking Super Meat Boy was getting its footing, Braid was fucking cool. There was also Cave Story, which was fantastic for people who didn't have money, which being in middle school, I believe at the time, I didn't have any money. So instead of playing Super Meat Boy or Braid or anything of the sort, I played this game instead. Also rip that robot. And I played this game during a really upsetting time in my life where I moved from the house that I grew up in to a just completely different house. It was still in the same area, but I just like left behind all the neighbor kids. And a lot of my friends moved away because they were all like military kids. So I just basically like lost all my friends in the blink of an eye. And then I moved into this house, and this house in this edition was like, or the house was complete. Also, that's what they look like as humans. And now they're back. This house was basically finished, but the entire edition was under development. So there was literally no hope. She's really tall in this one, by the way, for some reason. I lived in this house, but it was just a very wide field of dirt, and that's it. There was no house to my left, there was no house to my right, there was no house in front of me. And so Cave Story, the original version, the like fan translation on, I'm pretty sure just like cavestory.com or whatever, basically kept me going. And the community of people like on the forums and the fan games and the art and the just everything surrounding Cave Story really helped really pull me out of that like depressive episode. And so even though this game has a lot of things that, you know, in hindsight irk me, all the backtracking with the jellyfish juice, the dog backtracking, and all that stuff like that, it's still a wonderful, fantastic game, and I'll love it, and it'll always be one of my favorite games of all time. Kevin says, I feel like I would have loved Cave Story if I got into it a bit earlier. My first experience was Cave Story Plus on the Switch and got immediately hooked. I mean, you know, hey, better late than never, right? People are, I'm pretty sure even now people are doing a bunch of cool stuff with Cave Story. There's a couple people that I still follow that made like custom games of Cave Story. I remember they had a really funny name. I think it was like Garaka Cheeser or something like that. they made a mod called WTF Story, which is incomplete and will never be completed. But what was made was pretty incredible, actually, and I liked it quite a lot. And the reason I bring this up is because that person has made a game at this point, I believe. I don't know if it's on Steam, but I believe they made something that you can play on itch.io. And I think last time I checked in on them, which was admittedly like 3 years ago or something, they were working on getting a game onto Steam or something like that. So, clearly it's not, clearly Cave Story is a huge, influential, like, piece of media. I still have a folder of source ports. Hell yeah. And I told this story earlier, but I'll repeat it here. That, like, I modded Cave Story. The version of the game that you can get on, like, cavestory.com comes with a editor. And I did some extremely light sprite work. I basically just made, like, Final Fantasy recolors of a whole bunch of enemies. And I also made a door. I couldn't figure out how to make a new door, but what I did was in order to practice Balos, so I didn't have to go through the entirety of hell to beat him. To practice him, I replaced the door, the sign that says "Welcome to Hell" with a door, and then I connected that door to another door that I created that replaced the dog that talks to you before you get to Balos's room. So I turned the sign into a door, and I turned the dog into a door, and then I connected those two doors, and I made myself a shortcut so that I could practice Balos before doing the whole thing in one go. And it's such a little thing to do something like that, but I was super proud of myself for figuring out how to do that without, like, any internet guides or anything of the sort. That's amazing. Yeah. God. All that shit is super fun. I played a whole bunch of fan games. Not a lot of them were great, but like I said, it's hard for me to say that I was really part of the broader community because I never posted, I never made art, I never made games or anything of the sort. But I watched so many people, who were just like me and super inspired by the game to do speed runs, to make art, to make games and stuff like that. And so, like I said, Cave Story will forever be fucking special to me because of just how fucking inspirational it is. I love this game. Game's great. So now that we've beaten the game, we also have Curly Story, which is the exact same, but you get to play as Curly. Hooray. And we also have this challenge menu. These are filled with particular challenges that are unique to Cave Story Plus. These weren't in the original game, as far as I remember. Oh, we have the booster. Among them is a boss attack, which is pretty sick. Wind Fortress, I'll get to that in a second. And the Sanctuary Time Attack. And the Sanctuary Time Attack is basically doing the hell run as fast as you can. Want to become famous? Hell yeah, I get to ban somebody today. Let's fucking go. As soon as I fucking figure out how to ban. There we go. Ban. Boom. Banned. Got him. So, in the original version of Cave Story, fuck me. Getting a really good timer, a really good time on the 290 counter, the Nikamara counter, I believe as it is called in the original version. Getting a good time changes the main menu music into a couple of different things. Hate bots, yeah. They've been kind of slowing down recently. It's been a while since I've had to do that. But getting a good time on the counter changes the main menu music. The functionality has been changed slightly, so that in order to get a new character as your cursor on the main menu and new songs in the background, you have to complete the Sanctuary time attack within a certain amount of time. If you are a gamer, and I am not anymore, I am so out of practice. If you are a gamer, you can do the Sanctuary time attack, which I believe doesn't give you missiles, or maybe it does, and it's just like a pain in the ass to level it up. Anyways, the point is if you're a gamer, you can complete the Sanctuary time attack in a little over 2 minutes. It's like 2 minutes and 20 seconds is like fairly reasonable, I think. If you're a gamer. I'm on my phone and it's annoying to do mod stuff via mobile. It's fine. So it's been made a lot harder in Cave Story Plus because like I said earlier, instead of having all the tools at your disposal, you have to do the time attack mode, and that doesn't give you the extra HP or anything of the sort. So it's harder this time. And there's boss attack, which is exactly what it sounds like. And then there's Wind Fortress, which is fucking weird. I've never actually beaten this. I want to one day. But Wind Fortress is basically almost like it's almost like another it's almost like another Sanctuary run, but it takes place at the bottom of the island. And it has this unique song that only shows up here. Ouchie. And also it's a little on the difficult side. When Fortress song goes hard though, it does. Like I said, I've never beaten this one. I just was never particularly interested in it. So I never got around to doing it. One of these days I want to do it. But it has a unique boss fight where like Curly is trapped in some kind of like tube and a machine is like spitting out Curly clones. It's weird. But it's fucking cool. And I don't know. I think it's neat. But yeah, let me hit the BRB screen. Other stuff that the creator of Cave Story made. Made Ika-chan, the squid game I talked about earlier, featuring the hammerhead and the little squid dude. And also made Caro Blaster, and I believe you can get Caro Blaster on Steam. I think Ika-chan isn't, but you can. But I also know for a fact that you can just play Ika-chan on cavestory.com or whatever. And I don't know what else the creator of Cave Story is doing. That's an amazing BRB screen. Thank you very much. One of my best friends made that for me. One of these days I need to get it like gently animated so that the waiting for server text will blink. If you're familiar with Payday 2, that's what that's based off of. So if you want to see other works by the creator, those are two things to check out. I am every day I wake up, I am huffing the world's biggest tank of copium because there's like several interviews where Pixel talks about maybe making a Cave Story sequel, maybe, and every day I wake up and I hope that some amount of news will come out for that sort of thing, but it has yet to be birthed into the world, and every day is lesser because of it. Who knows? Pixel might never make a sequel, which is fair. the man's got like a wife and kid now, I think. And in fact, he made Cave Story while he was like working another day job. And the original release of Cave Story was free and was always intended to be free. And then it got published, and it's really cool to actually see him make some amount of money off of off of this wonderful creation that changed my life. But that is everything I have to say about Cave Story in 3 hours and 41 minutes. So I need to eat something. I need to go to bed. But thank everybody for watching. Good night. Have a day. Be sure to drain your robots, because that's how they get better. I'll catch you all later.